university in terms of developing your career. You are near your lecturers, you are near your students, other fellow students, so you can be able to network and grow academically. And of course, the challenges of living outside the school, very expensive hostels. These hostels will also be affordable, that we are going to develop. We are entering with your partnership with the university to provide affordable housing. Learning from outside also complicates the parents, or rather parents have to put more money. And of course the students are living in sometimes very risky environments which are not conducive for learning. Now, during the life of a project, or rather the life of affordable housing project, including the student hostels, we have put mechanisms of taking students in internship, taking them as well as a learning from theory to practice. So when students go out, particularly the students in the building industry, we take them for short-term training when they go on holidays. And of course, during the holidays, the student will get something from these lessons they are learning in the field. We are not just taking students without paying them. We take them in life experience, and they also get their pay within the standard of within the standard of the people in the built environment. And of course, if I may put, currently we have more than 130,000 units ongoing. In terms of job creation, from engineering professionals to planners to QSs, electrical, and the normal other foodies, carpenters, and even the KYMs, Kadaya Mkono. All those people combine those direct jobs. We have more than 160,000 people already employed, because research has shown that to produce one unit, you need 2 to 3 direct jobs. In terms of indirect jobs, you get up to 10 people per unit. So for you to produce 200,000 units times 10, you have created how many jobs? Any mathematicians? 2 million. That's it. And in terms of the value chain of the construction industry, from nearby the site, you have Mama Boga, who is feeding the workers. From the shabas, people who are bringing food items, all the way to the manufacturing. You trigger manufacturing by way of getting that consumptive demand. Meaning, you can count the cement, the steel, doors, all those items. And we have gone further and itemize what goes into a building. And these small items, including doors, windows, balusters, we are giving them to the Juakari people directly to supply our contractors, and we guarantee their payment. And currently, we have set approximately 4.4 billion worth of products that will be supplied by these Juakari and MSMEs into this industry. I hope you give me another opportunity.
I will. Thank you very much. Please clap for Mr. James Minor. Since we are actually in a session for young people, please ensure that you share this conversation with other people online. The hashtag we are using to actually engage people online is hashtag UDA Kisii Comrades. UDA Kisii Comrades. Hashtag UDA Kisii Comrades. The keywords are UDA Town Hall. The keywords are UDA Town Hall. So chukua selfie, jipige, at least ambia watu uko hapa hivi, hujakuja kujificha. UDA, UDA. Kazi ni kazi. Comrades power. Comrades power. So, enda chukua hiyo selfie, pigia watu waambie uko hapa. Sawa sawa. So, very fast, I'd love to bring in Professor Machuki. You have a mic? Okay. So, Prof, I'd love you to help us understand. You know, you are the president's advisor. You are a former okay, for academia there is never former. Learning is continuous. So, that is eternal. So, as an academic, I'd love you to actually take us through this issue about the new funding model. You explained to the comrades here why it was necessary for us to actually graduate to from the former funding model to what we are trying to do now, even though it's in court. But it will be important. Probably in 3 minutes, just take these goosey guys from wherever we are today. We are on Nyancho Hill, I think the highest peak at this particular point. Take them higher, and then we come back and then talk about other issues.
Thank you, Arnold, for giving me this opportunity. Comrades power. Comrades wisdom. Is the wisdom oozing from the brains here? Okay, thank you very much. Professor Machuki is my name. I teach in the University of Nairobi in the Faculty of Business and Management Sciences. I am Professor of Strategic Management. I'm on leave of absence from the university, serving as an advisor to the President in the President's Council of Economic Affairs, Advisors. And therefore, the question about the new funding model, I want to have a conversation around it, but highlight a number of issues in there. And because, one, it is a matter that is already in court. Two, it is a matter that is going through regurgitation. There is a committee that has been established to look into it. So what I'll do is to highlight the rationale and the logic behind coming up with that new funding model. Already the 2022 KCSE students who were admitted in universities were admitted on that model. So we have second years in there on with that particular framework. I want to start this way. The new funding model was announced by His Excellency the President in May the year 2023. And he announced, after we went through a very lengthy conversation, engaging different stakeholders in the higher education ecosystem. And this is what informed the coming up with this new funding model. For a long time, universities have been funded through different mechanisms. The times that we were in university, I and Secretary General here, we were in the same university. The Higher Education Loans Board used to fund students after the students have expressed their need for funding through application. And the Higher Education Loans Board, that time we used to call it Chacha because Professor Chacha Nyaigot Chacha was at the helm, so we used to call it Chacha. And then it became Cheboi, and so forth and so on. But that is just the story. So when we looked at the universities in Kenya, more especially public universities, one, we diagnosed and found out that most universities, 23 of them, were experiencing solvency issues. Actually, by the year 2022, those 23 universities were declared technically insolvent. Then we started asking ourselves, what could have been the problem? That is one. Secondly, the president came into office with one principle in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the principle of inclusivity. That inclusivity meant that everybody in our society is brought into the fold to be part and parcel of the transformation agenda. And one of the things that we found out was about inequity in access to higher education by students from humble backgrounds. That is second. Then we asked ourselves, what is the reason why universities are being declared insolvent? What is the reason why many students from humble backgrounds cannot access university education? Because of discrimination, even from the lower levels, because of the quality of education and the access and so forth. Then we established that the existing funding model, which at that time was called the differentiated unit cost, had been designed. And the design was this. There will be parameters that will be put together to average the cost of offering a program in a university. Now, when that averaging was done, different programs would then cost differently, and the parameters that could be considered into determining the cost of the program would make it possible that it is an average but not the exact cost of the program. That's number one. Number two, it was then established that universities will receive funding as a block, which is called capitation, from the National Treasury. So every university will have a vote that will make it possible to receive the funding as a block. Based on that, the government framework was that government was to take care of 80% cost the household keep this institution. What was proposed was that
vipindi vyetu kwa kudownload Radio 40.
vile unavyojua
universities and asked them that they will subsidize by 15%. After subsidizing by 15%, the 85%, then we said, how do we ensure equitable distribution of resources depending on how a student is in need of funding? What criteria do we put in place? How did we do it? We went to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics and looked at the 2020 economic survey and found out that households in Kenya are categorized in 5 bands. The lowest one is earning annually 5,559 and below. That is the most vulnerable household. The most able household earns 120,000 and above. Between 559 and 120,000, in between there are the 5 bands. So the lowest band is 5,559. The highest one is 1,000 Kenya shillings and above. So in between is band 2, band 3, and band 4. We used those household bands because they have been statistically determined by an economic survey of an institution that has been given that mandate. We brought it into now banding the students along that line. But before you are banded, this is what will happen. The university that has admitted you will give or send you a letter of admission. That letter of admission indicates the exact cost of the program. And they will advise you, please apply for funding from the Higher Education Loans Board and the university's funding board. Now, the information that a student is required to supply is with regard to your family background, the number of siblings, your siblings in schools, the primary school that you went to, the secondary school that you went to, so that we are able to gather information that we will then validate with other databases like NHIF then, KRA, and all others, to be able to, the system will be able to then put you in a band where you belong. Once that has been determined, and for sure, the reason why it brought problem is that students will apply, they know their reality back at home, and then a student is found to be banded in level 4 and level 3 or level 5, where you are expected that if you are in level 4, you are from a background that is able, your family is able, and so forth. That brought a lot of disgruntlement and a lot of disillusionment. The reason why that happened, one, is because most of the students who will apply and the information that they will supply is the one that is used to band them. So we then said, let the students supply the appropriate information. That is why it brought a number of issues. Now, the question is, how did we take care of the humble background and the most able backgrounds? When you are categorized as band 1, government gives you 70% of support. The loan is 25%, and the household contribution is 5%. 70% is a scholarship. 25% is loan. 5% is what the parent contributes. So essentially saying that government takes care of 95%, albeit that the 25% is loan that you will repay after you clear college, and that is how it is graduated. Those who are banded incrementally, you now move up, the amount of the scholarship is lower, the amount of the loan is higher because you will be able to repay, and the amount of household contribution is also higher. So that we do not talk about equality, we talk about equity. Equitable distribution of resources, and you are funded according to the level of need. That is the logic behind the new funding model. We considered a lot of data, but as a new framework, it was bound to receive a lot of reactions from the consumers, you, the students, and the families that you come from, and the president, being who is a listening president.
Thank you.
He first engaged the students in KICC, and out of the feedback, then formed a broad-based, now that there is broad-based, a broad-based committee that includes now students, and they have been meeting. They met last week, and they continue reviewing that framework. And there is also conversation that is going on. It's a matter in court, and therefore we keep on talking about the logic of this new funding model. And we hope that it will find acceptance. We hope that it will communicate sense so that we are all brought into the fold to access higher education. Those who have been excluded for far too long to also have an opportunity. Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Prof. Please clap for him. You know, this is very important for all of us being comrades here. It's very, very important because that is key. In a word, the Prof is trying to say this, that with about 67 billion shillings in debt to universities, public universities, we can stick and say the other one was working and have universities closing, like we are trying to fight with more university to resuscitate it, or move on to a new platform where you are able to actually study. So, comrades, please embrace it. Comrades, power. Comrades, power. Now, I think somewhere in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verses 9, the Bible says that a feast is for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Money. Hata huku sisi UDA tunasema pesa wapi? Fukoni. So we love to talk about financial inclusion. Si kila mtu anataka pesa. Kama hakuna pesa kwa mfuko kuna haja kweli? Si hata unajua kuna ile pressure uko nayo na headache uko nayo, lakini ukipata pesa ile confirmed, hiyo unapona ama namna gani? Hello. So the PS who is in charge of Hustler Fund is not here, but she will be joining us later on. But then we have got a director from UDA, the Youth Enterprise Development Fund. Incidentally, the CEO for UDA comes from here, is a Mr. Moriasi. Anatoka hapa. So I'd love you to actually just take us through what Youth Fund does, and how young people can actually use the other one. Technical guys, I need somebody around here to help me with the mics, just in case. Check.
Comrades, power! Comrades, viva! Thank you. First, I want to appreciate the UDA party with the leadership of the SG, Comrades 001, and the National Treasurer, Honorable Nyakundi, for creating such a proactive platform for inclusion of young people in policy discussions, conversation around the projects that the government is implementing towards the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This is a really, really transformative engagement platform, and we commend you for that. Please keep it up. So on financial inclusion, the Kenya Kwanza government is very, very deliberate on providing platforms for young people, women, and persons with disability to engage in economic empowerment initiatives. And there are affirmative action funds which the government has put in place for this main agenda. We have Wezo Fund, which focuses on youth, women, and persons with disability. We have Hustler Fund, which has been established by the Kenya Kwanza government. It's still for the same purpose of supporting young people and all the MSMEs at the low of the pyramid. Then we also have Women Enterprise Fund, which is specifically for women, including young women in the house. Warembo High. Then we also have, we have Youth Fund. Youth Fund is specifically designed for young people, and I'm here to talk more about Youth Fund. Youth Fund is a fund for young people. It is comrade friendly, and we are there to support young people who have ideas and they want to commercialize them through businesses. We support them by providing capital, and it is comrade friendly, from 0 interest to as low as 8% interest. We also provide business development services through our incubation and training programs. Then we also provide market linkages for young people who have obtained our funding and they need support in acquiring market for their products. We are there to support them. And we also support the government's agenda of providing jobs abroad for the comrades and for young people by facilitating those young people who have gotten jobs abroad. We do support up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings for you to facilitate your documents, and we also do pre-departure training. Then we also have LPO financing. LPO financing is to help young people who want to participate in government tenders. There is a law on access to government procurement opportunities, which provides that 30% of all government tenders should be allocated to youth, women, and persons with disability. And we understand the challenge that young people have in participating in government tenders, which is funding. So Youth Fund has this product of LPO financing for any young person who has gotten a tender in a government institution. We finance up to 70% of that LPO to enable the young person to offer the service or the goods to the government institution. So, as comrades, I'm sure you are wondering, why entrepreneurship? Why is the Kenya Kwanza government so much invested for young? Entrepreneurship is very important because we believe that young people have the ideas, they have the creativity and the potential to help the government in creating jobs. And through entrepreneurship, you are able to be your own boss, and you are able to help the government in creating jobs for yourself and for other young people. So it is a very good initiative by the government that you need to take up. I'm encouraging you, please take up this opportunity. In the same spirit of appreciating the efforts by the UDA government, from the forum, from this Comrades Engagement Forum, we have been able to get a good number of groups and youth-led businesses from you, comrades, whom we are funding right now. I'm proud to say there is a circle that has been established by one of the comrades under this comrades chapter. Is called Edwin Ongoba from South Mugirango. He has formed South Mugirango Farmers Society, and he has already started the application process for funding. And I believe through this platform, we are going to get so many more success stories. Talking of impact, here in Kisii, we have a group in Nyaribarichache. It is called African Solution Technology Youth Group. The African Solution Technology Youth Group was started by students from Kisii University. And they started with 50,000 Kenyan shillings as the first uptake from Youth Fund. And right now they have taken a cumulative of 1.2 million Kenyan shillings. They are running a banana factory. It is here at Nyaribarichache. I hope even once we are done, we can go with the SG and Mheshimiwa Nyakundi to see the group. And this is a success story. This youth group currently is employing more than 30 young people. And it is a group that is led by young people for young people. I'm encouraging you to take up this. Today, I've worked with the county credit officer for Kisumu County. Is here. Agos Mogoi, you can stand and wave. Yes, we have officers across all the 47 counties, and most of our offices are based at the county commissioner's office. If you need more information about Youth Fund, you can visit our nearest office and get all the information about the products that we have, and our officers are there to help you. You can also get more information on our website, www.youthfund.go.ke. It has all comprehensive information on the products we have and how you can access it. Thank you very much. Be blessed.
Thank you. While people were clapping, Bus Mama, hapo kwa pila wewe, yes, just stand up. You know, when everybody was clapping, yeye hakupiga makofi, so ningependa upigie Faith Nora pale makofi peke yake, so that all of us pay attention. Comrades, power. Comrades, wisdom. You can pay fees, but if you don't pay attention, you don't pass your exams. Comrades, wisdom. Tuko sawa? So you must pay attention and we must move together. Now, quickly, I'd love to bring in Mr. Njue from the National Employment Authority. I'd love you to actually, first of all, begin with this answer. Do we have a NEA, a National Employment Authority office in Kisii and Nyamira? And what do you guys do? Because kama ni kazi tunaonanga ni kama tunajitafutia wenyewe. What do you guys really do? Please.
Comrades, power. Comrades, wisdom. Thank you, Arnold. National Employment Authority is a very important agent or agency in the Republic of Kenya. We refer to it as NEA, that's the short form. We actually promote employment in Kenya. Anytime you talk about employment, National Employment Authority comes in. It is important to note that we are actually in 30 counties, and here in Kisii, we are located at the county commissioner's compound. So if you want to get any service concerning employment, you can visit our office. Now, National Employment Authority registers job seekers, it registers recruitment agencies. And we know that here in Kisii, we have so many people looking for jobs, isn't it? There's a lot of unemployment. We know that the industries that are here cannot accommodate all the job seekers in Kisii. We know that all the establishments that are here, the hotel industry and other industries, cannot accommodate all the job seekers in Kisii. Therefore, we encourage students to take their studies seriously so that they can acquire the skills that are needed in the market. So, we register recruitment get the various jobs depending on the skills that they have.
Therefore, when we say that somebody wants to go to UK,
USA, or any other country, we always encourage our people to make sure that they go through or they use a registered recruitment agency. This is because we have so many brokers telling our people that they can take them to Egypt, they can take them to South Africa, they can take them to Qatar, they can take them to Lebanon, and so other many places. If you are taken to those places by a broker, what it means is that you will not be safe. You can only be safe if you are taken to those countries by a registered recruitment agency. And therefore, if somebody comes to offer you a job or tells you that there are some jobs available out there, ask that person, are you registered by the National Employment Authority? If the person says yes, then search further. Go to our website, that is www.neaims.go.ke. Search the name of that agency in our portal. If the agency does not appear there, then tell that person, sorry, you cannot take me to the country where you are telling me that there are some jobs because you are not registered by the National Employment Authority. It is also very important that a registered agency ensures that you sign a contract. Make sure that you look at the terms and conditions of that contract. You cannot be told that you are going to, let's say, Qatar to work as a security officer, and the contract does not give proper details. The contract does not give the terms and conditions of employment. So insist on getting those terms and conditions of employment so that you can feel safe. It is also important to look at the exact contract that you signed, because we know that there are some instances where there can be contract substitution. You've been taken as an accountant, but when you reach in the country of destination, you are told that you are going to work as a laborer. So ensure that the terms, the terms in the contract of service are actually very clear. Look at the salary that you are getting. Make sure that you do the conversion so that if it is in riyals, Saudi riyals, convert and see the amount that you are supposed to get in terms of Kenya shillings. Now, we've heard of so many cases or some cases of stranded Kenyans out there. Most of those Kenyans get stranded because they don't take or do due diligence when they are leaving the country. Please, before you leave the country to work out there, make sure that you undergo pre-departure orientation. Because without pre-departure orientation, most likely you'll get what we call a culture shock. Get to know how to maneuver when you are out there. Get to know the culture of the country where you are going to work so that you can be comfortable, so that you don't get disoriented. And that is why we are saying, in a case, by bad luck, you get a distress case out there when you're working in those countries, you can contact the National Employment Authority or our embassy in those countries. And for you to contact NEA, you can use our toll-free number. That is, you can write it, 0800 22 2223. That is 0800 22 22 23. Alternatively, you can visit our website and fill in the information distress information form. Fill that form so that you can get assistance. Now, let me reiterate that there are so many jobs that are available in Kenya and outside the country. Once you visit our website, you'll be able to see the list of vacancies that are available. Apply for those vacancies, and the recruitment agencies will actually provide you or get you the jobs that you are looking for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'll come back to him. Please clap for Mr. Jue. I'll be back to him to actually talk to us about labor mobility for the guys who are going elsewhere. But then before that, I'd love to ask Joshua to just tell us what the government is doing. He comes from the Office of the Government Spokesperson. In 2 minutes, Joshua, munafanyia nini Comrades? Kuna zile munafanyia sisi na watu wengine, sisi dinosaurs. Lakini sasa for Comrades, what are you guys doing?
Thank you, Maliba. There are many things that the government is doing for the youth or the comrades of this country, and many of them in terms of job, as you have heard. But I would say the government first is listening to you. We are listening to you. Remember what happened in June? There was a huge cry from the Gen Zs and the youths about the government not listening to them. But the president listened to you, and I believe you hosted him in space and you aired your views or grievances to him. So the government is listening to the youths and the Gen Zs of this country. The president the other day also, as somebody had mentioned, hosted you, the university leaders, the comrade leaders at KICC. You had a humble time to ask President all kind of questions. Some were very tough, some were whatever they are, but he answered you. I see some of those comrades here, leaders. And you know, it's not easy for a president to give you an ear like that. But this president, this youthful president we have in Kenya, listens to you and knows that you are very important. Even the issue of university funding, there was an issue. There is a cry. A professor stated it very well here. But the president, after even it has started, the implementation has started, you remember he has created a broad-based task force to look at the issues that they are there. And here, almost 120-something leaders of the youth, of the comrades from our universities are in that task force to give your views. I would say also this government is pro-youth. You can see even in terms of PSS, we have 3 PSS under 35, for culture, for wildlife. Those are PSS. And we have a CS, Engineer Eric Moga, for water, hardly 35. That you could not find in any other regime. Even now, as we talk about in terms of PSS, he has spread the PSS. Almost all counties have something, have somebody. Out of 51, I can count up to 39 counties have a PS. It has never happened before. It used to be shared among the top 5 tribes in Kenya or communities. But now, at least even that single small from somebody from Marsabit, wako na PS. Kitu huwa haijawahi tendeka. So I would say for comrades, the government is listening to you. I would urge you to continue speaking. Continue speaking. Part of our mandate as Office of Government spokesperson is to track perception. So whatever you say, we are listening. We monitor also what is happening in the country, and we share with those who are concerned. I want to say thank you for the party, UDA party, which has also is looking at the youths in a very good way, even you comrades. As you can see, the top leadership here were once comrade. So you comrade want to encourage you that you will be somebody in future. Don't sit back and just think nobody is seeing you or listening to you or identifying you. Whatever you are doing here, somebody, there's an SG here. Election ikikuja, nyinyi mtaanguka nayo na mtapata viti kwa hii. Our treasurer here is hardly 35 of a national party, ruling party. Mheshimiwa hapa Nyakundi, he is also a comrade. I'm also a comrade. I was in Moi University 2015. So I want to say we are doing a lot, but you have given me 2 minutes. Let me end here. I'll say more later.
Thank you very much. Please clap for Joshua Rapsang. And we are going to the top of the hour. There are some subjects I wanted us to take care of, but then we can actually move them to the next hour. I'd love to, because I have got a few people who are leaving and traveling, so I'd love them to actually be part and parcel of, briefly in the next probably 15 minutes or so. But I'm going to give Vivian the only second chance to respond to this. The SG seated here for the party, you have got the treasurer here. I'd love you to tell us some of the deliberate strategies you love we as a party, UDA as a party, to actually do to ensure that comrades' voices are listened to. Because one of the questions we've had continuously is that hawa wazee hawatuelewi. Na hata kama wanatusikiza hawatusikizi. Tunasikia, tunanyita, and that is why tuko hapa. Najua shengi ya kunyita ni mzee, ni ya kitambo sana. Lakini sisi na kina SG. Lakini what exactly would you propose? You speaking to him here. And I've actually done that deliberately as the only panelists who can take 2 things. Because SG, when you speak about heroes in Kisii, they always talk about, I had told these guys earlier on, they speak about men. You will hear about Otenyo, Nyamantere, and the others. What they don't tell you is that the strategist who sent Otenyo, Nyamantere to war was actually the software, or the strategist who sent Otenyo to war was actually his aunt. The aunt was called Morangita. Huyo ndio mtu alipanga hiyo vita yote. So ukisikiaga wanasema Otenyo, they forget to mention ladies. So deliberately, I'll give her two slots. Please ask the SG and the treasurer here, the leadership, waambie ile kitu tunaweza kuwafanyia.
Thank you so much, Maliba. That's a good question. Comrades power. Leo ni siku yetu. Sawa? So, according to the question, I would like, given that all comrades are using internet, I'll suggest we establish an online platform, like an app a common app where all comrades are brought on board to discuss their issues, so that they can reach the UDA party, the ruling party, through the right channel to help us solve our problems. The next suggestion is they should develop questionnaires and surveys for comrades' view, so that our problems and issues are discussed well. That's all.
Thank you very much. Quickly, I'd love to pick 3 questions because I love the Secretary General, Honorable Hassan Omar, to respond to them. He has got a 2 o'clock flight to catch, but I love him to speak to you. I don't want him to speak to you kabla muonge. Si ni vizuri wasikize pia? But before mfanye hivyo, kuna hii kitu inaitwa the Social Health Authority. Professor Machuki will be talking about it in the next level, but kama umekaa hapo, ningependa udial star 147 hash. Star 1 country, 47 counties, hash. And then subscribe, anza hiyo process ama uambie watu wa home wa subscribe. There is a little bit of onboarding challenges, we acknowledge that, but it's important. Like I have always told people, ukijoin wale watu wako online wana resist SHA, kwanza wewe onboard, subscribe, register, alafu unarudi online unaendelea kuresist na watu wengine. Kwa sababu if you don't do that, those people hawataitisha harambe. You are the elites of your homes. Please do that. Secondly, star 254 hash, that is for Hustler Fund. Lipa Hustler Fund yako, na pia unaweza kupata hapo loan kidogo. Sawa sawa. Comrades power. Comrades power. Hashtag Gusii, hashtag Comrades Gusii chapter. Comrades Gusii chapter, hashtag, that's what we're engaging on. The keywords are UDA. Let me just get that correctly so that then I don't mix it up. Naona watu wengine mnapiga picha yangu mnanitumia, nataka upige picha yako uweke online. Uambie watu uko hapa. Kwa sababu ukinitumia mimi niko hapa busy na coordinate. Please piga picha yako, chukua selfie yako, enda online, ambia watu uko hapa. If you get something good, you can also talk about it here. So the hashtag we are using here is hashtag UDA Gusii Comrades. Hashtag UDA Gusii Comrades. The keywords are UDA Town Hall. Please tell guys you are here. Talk to them. If there is a point here, engage. We as UDA and the Kenya Kwanza administration acknowledge one thing, that we might not be able to prepare the future for our young people, but we know that we can prepare our young people for the future. And this is part and parcel of it. That's why we are having these policy conversations here. So, I'd love hapa penye Shinaka hapo pali umekaa. I'd love hiyo njia ifunguke na ningependa hii pia ifunguke. Ushers, please. I want 3 questions. 1 from that end, 1 in the middle, na ingine hapa. Inaweza kuongeza ya 4 huko nyuma. Kama watu huko nyuma watabehave, kwa sababu mmenyamaza sana. Just wave at me if you're seeing me. Watu wa nyuma. Okay. Ushers, please have that mic move. I want enda huko mwisho kabisa. Get a question. And like we agreed, 1 question, 1 minute, 2 minutes for a comment. On this end, let's get going. Your name, the institution you are coming from, question or comment.
Thank you very much. I'm Odiwara Isaiah. I'm from Kisii University. First, I would like to thank UDA for organizing such a meeting where intellectuals sit in one room to reason out. My question is about the funding model. We find that there is a flat rate where each and every person is being funded. Then when it comes to the band 1, some vulnerable communities people from vulnerable communities find...
It's okay, just proceed.
Some people from vulnerable communities, families still find it difficult to fund themselves. Is there a way that the bursaries can be included in the model such that it is only for the people, for those from seriously vulnerable families, to ensure that the loans are reduced and there is full capitation for such people, and so that it facilitates their learning? Then, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Please clap for him. If you don't clap, I'll see you and then you will have to clap alone. I want a question here.
Good morning.
Your name, institution?
Yes, I'm Calvin Koech from Kisii University. My question is to the Director of the Youth Fund. You have told us about the Youth Fund, but my question is, you have good plans for the youth, but how can we reach you? You have not told us how can we manage to get those youth fund. Now, in our universities also, we have some youth activities like sports and culture. How can you ensure that as the Director of Youth Fund, you can also take part in assisting us during our sports and culture by at least providing some funds, because that's where most youths take part and participate. So how are you going to chip in our sports and culture? Thank you.
Clap for him. At the back, guys at the back, let's have that guy responding. The guy here. Your name, institution, and question or comment.
My name is Philip Nasa, Riraga Technical and Vocational College. So I have two questions at least. Departmental. Yeah. Quick. So the first question is about the new funding. No, it's about affordable housing for the comrades. So I think my first question is, how can you help the comrades with the affordable housing, in that most comrades, wherever they are living, rent keep increasing year by year. And then the affordable housing is like a long-term solution for the comrades. And then another question to NEA and the Youth Fund. So I think, why don't you the two departments like collaborate? We have some youths who need to move out of the country, and then they are supposed to give something before they get out, like commission, before they get out. So you should collaborate, like if one needs to move out, the ministry, the youth fund should give something, or should facilitate the movement of the youths outside of the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I need a lady. Hii imekuwa tu ni manel, only men talking. I need a lady. A lady with a question or comment? Ama hamuko? Well, I'm saying ladies na wanaume wananinulia mkono. Ladies, I need a lady, at least so that the SG can actually speak. I need a lady, the voice of a lady. There's a lady over there. We try to balance out. I'll be coming back for round 2. I want, after that lady, then the SG responds to it, speaks to you, then he's able to leave the...
Hilda Kwamboka from University of Nairobi, taking administration and management entrepreneurship. I'm asking the professor that kindly, can you really educate, we are saying of youth fund here, can you really manage to educate the Kisii at large? This is the business area. In fact, when we talk of youth enterprise funds, it's about the youth, it's about business issues here. But ourselves, we don't know how to do it, the business itself. Mtu anaanza na kuku zake 2-3 zinakufa. Mwingine anaanza na mayai sijui vifaranga ngapi 100 zinakufa. So if you just put us together in groups and then train us, give us, let us be entrepreneurship and not just the business as usual. Thank you.
Please clap for her. I will allow the SG to actually take that particular seat. She speaks about kuku kukufa. Unajua mimi kama mlio ya kuku zikikufa hiyo ni mboga. Like SG, please respond to this and then talk to us. Then I'll then pick up from you.
Thank you very much, my younger brother Maliba. Comrades power. Comrades power. You know, I always see a lot of stamina. Myself, having been once upon a time a student leader within Moi University. I used to be once the chairman of the Moi University Student Organization, MUSO, and then I was also the chairman of the Kenya National Students Union, KENASU. I know these are endeavors that most of you have so that you can nurse or nurture your leadership skills for the future and for the present of the university. Number one, Mwanzo, I want to sincerely appreciate all of you for being here to come and engage these extraordinary policymakers who, since the inception of this program, have stood with us so that you can interrogate and have a conversation on government policies and see or give us a feedback where we can improve and better our union as a country and better our policies as a government. And we want to ensure that parties become the real engines of engagement in terms of public policy formulation. Mimi kwanza niingie katika serikali, kila mahali naenda unapata watu wa serikali wanakuambia serikali inafanya kazi namna hii. Mimi namwambia sisi tulitafuta nguvu za kiserikali ili tufanye kazi namna nyingine. So you work with the government of the day and the policy direction of the party that governs. Kwa hivyo sasa, we have steered clear on the path of the plan that we promised. Hakuna serikali that I know of, apart from KANU of the yesteryears, that is implementing studiously the plan as articulated in its manifesto. Wajua watu wamezoea tutakwenda election alafu tunaweka manifesto kando. We said we'll deliver on matters of agriculture. Professor Madhuki will be able to talk about some of those pillars. Tukasema sisi we will not fund consumption, we will fund production. Leo tukapatia mbolea wakulima. Leo bei ya mahindi na mazao mengine imeshuka kwa vile pia Mungu alitupa baraka yake ya mvua. Tukasema tutakuwa na kitu inaitwa security of supply. Tukasema tukaenda into some ya petroli yetu. Tukaenda to G2G, government to government arrangement, to ensure that our supply of fuel is steady so that our industries and our transportation system does not collapse. Wengine wakajaribu kutusabotage in terms of the repayment of our Eurobond and other obligations. Namna hii, President Ruto and the Economic Council and the government were able to ensure that we meet our debt obligations. Watu wakahakikisha wakaleta ile shortage, artificial shortage of the dollar. Shilingi ikaanza kuporomoka. Tukaenda katika hiyo G2G, we were able to stop payment of fuel using foreign exchange, tukalipa through our currency, and we were able to stabilize the shilling. Ilipokuwa inashuka, Mkenya analia. Ilipokuwa stabilized, yule alikuwa akilia ananiambia hainihusu. When the shilling was losing ground, I was talking to a friend. He told me, shilling is losing ground, mnatuumiza. Sasa nikamwambia shilingi imestabilize, kanambia inanisaidia vipi? That is honesty. That's why we want to engage in an honest public conversation. Tukasema tutaleta mambo ya ICT and the creative economy. Sasa pia hapa muulize hiyo maswali. One of the pillars of this government is housing. Ndio hapa tunaona ndugu yetu James Maina kutoka State Department for Housing and Urban Development yuko hapa. Tukasema tutaleta misingi katika financial inclusion, that those who have must also have a compassion for those who have not. A system where people are dealt with through the system of equilibrium, to make equity the mainstay of our government. Wale who have more, to ensure that we bridge the gap for those who have more over those who have less. Wajua ile social justice, so that those who have less are able to be uplifted, so that those who are better off also become well off. Kwa hivyo sisi tumeenda katika a path of delivering on the plan. Lakini kila mtu alikuwa katika healthcare. We probably are going to have one of the biggest healthcare revolution in this country. Na kuna wale watu walikuwa na pesa nyingi, wakawa wanatumia katika malisho yao ya familia ya lunch, pesa ambayo hawezi kumpatia mwajiriwa wao an employee. Tukasema sisi tutaleta kitu inaitwa tax justice. Those who have more will pay more, those who have less will pay much less or nothing. Ndio tukasema yule ambaye akona pesa mingi, kama hufanyi social causes, kama huongezei mishahara ya watu yako, if you do not do what is called equity, serikali itachukua hiyo kodi ili yule ambaye pia hana ngazi za afya aweze kupata afya bora, so that those people in the lower prism of our lives can walk into private hospitals and get healthcare treatment of a first class nature. Lakini wale mabwenyenye, those who for the last 60 years have sat on the political and economic architecture of this country, wakaanza kupiga kelele. Masikini alipokuwa hana healthcare, ha complained for 60 years. Sasa tutaka kupeleka maskini healthcare, aingie katika hospitali, wewe unapiga kelele. We must make those who are worse off better off before those who are better off become well off. Hiyo ndio nchi sisi tunataka kujenga. Ile nchi ambayo we have a systematic way of taking care of the people from the lowest prism of our society. Watu wanazungumza funding model. Mimi nilipokuwa napigania Moi University Student Leadership, katika kampeni yangu, campaign team, nilikuwa na Professor Madhuki. He made the right decisions. Mimi I didn't. Professor was receiving about, I think, 28 or 30,000. Mimi nilikuwa napata chini kidogo. Hii namna, kwa vile mimi nilijaza form, nikasema sijui iko hii na hii na hii, profesa kumbe akakarabati ile form akasema hana hii na hii na hii. Yeye akapata pesa mingi, mimi nikapata kidogo. So it is not true that this is the first time a model that is equitable is being applied in terms of funding our education. Wewe ni tajiri. Why should we pay for your sons or daughters' university education? Why can't we give that money to the poor? Yule ambaye hawezi kulipiwa alipiwe kila kitu. Wewe ambaye unaweza kujilipia ulipe kila kitu upate sufuri. What is wrong with that? Equalizing the society. Giving people an opportunity. Education is an enabler. Education is a game changer. My brothers and sisters, my little friends, my young friends, musikubali kukosa elimu. Mimi nilikuwa katika Senate ya Kenya na mtoto wa Moi na watoto wengine wa Mobwenyenye only because my education took me there and my ideas. And that's why I will tell you, education is an equalizer. Wacha niwachie hapo, because I don't want to preempt what will be talked about. But as a government, as a party, we will now engage the citizens directly. Hakuna mambo ya kupitia kona. Town halls are the tested and trusted means of direct democracy. Kwenda moja kwa moja kuongea na raia. Sio mtu anakuja anasema mimi niko na watu, mimi ndio kusema kule kwetu, kwa sababu hivyo watu wamesema hivi. Sisi tunaenda wale watu wa kusema wajisemee wenyewe. Na mwisho, Nyakundi, Cecily Mbarire, Aaron na mimi na wengine tulienda kwa rais tukamwambia the hustler nation can never ignore the comrades nation. And therefore, we want a system of direct engagement. And that's why the president wants us to engage in an honest policy conversation. Toa ile iko kwa roho. And that's why we are going to create avenues and platforms and mechanisms for engaging the young people of this country, for engaging the comrades of this country. Tafadhali kaa tu. Wachana. Yeah, have a seat. Have a seat. Don't worry, just have a seat. Yeah, have a seat. Ukija kuchelewa unapoa pale. Yeah, please, have a seat. Yeah, have a seat. It's very disruptive when we are alive, my brother. Yeah. Kwa hivyo, tumekuja hapa as a party extremely proud of our leaders from this area. Wajua nyinyi watu wa maeneo haya mmejipanga sana. Nyinyi mmejipanga. Viongozi wenu mmetuletea viongozi vijana kabisa. Baada ya miaka 5-10 hawa viongozi vijana hawa wakati William Ruto anaondoka hawa tangaisha sisi. To create a national leader you need 5 to 10 years. Watu ya jamii hii South Nyanza wakapeleka wazee wengi nyumbani ile last election. Mimi kila siku nikiwa Coast nawaambia jichungeni na wale mabantu wenzetu wako kule Western. Mukapeleka vijana wazee wengi nyumbani. Mukaleta vijana wengi sana. Sisi tumeonea 18 kama yule jamaa. But Nyakundi today and Osoro are one of the pillars of the Hustler Nation and the UDA government. An astute leader in Nyakundi, I am sure huyu mtamongezea tena na huko mbele wakati hii nchi inaenda mbele na sisi tunasonga inatoka kule kwa mlima ule inakuja kwa mlima hii. We are sure of that as a young people and a young generation. We must end ethnicity in this country. We must vote people for the content of their characters and their ability to deliver. Na huyu amedeliver kwetu. Sisi kama watu ya UDA tunajua. Hata ikija ile election ya grassroots, nani atangoa Nyakundi pale yako? Na si yule Osoro, si yeye ndio kiranja. Si yeye ndio aliitisha watu wakapeleka watu nyumbani. Sisi tunajua what you guys have given us as a government. Na tunawaomba muendelee na mtazamo huo huo. We are proud as a country. We are proud as a government. We are proud as a party because of our brothers Nyakundi and the rest. Kwa hivyo Nyakundi, sisi tunakuomba vile umetupanga hapa, uendelee kupanga nchi. Sio tu watu tulisema yule jamaa kila saa akisema sijui mlima nini. When you are a Kenyan of a national stature, your world view, as you think about home, you must think about the country. That is what the world view must be about. Kwa hivyo fanyia watu, lakini fanyia watu, lakini fanyia taifa la Kenya. Wajua mheshimiwa pole bana. Wajua mimi uliniambia ni relax, nimerelax. Okay. Wajua nimeshukuru sana. Pia mheshimiwa wetu hapa kutoka Bomachoge amekuja. Na nitawaachia wao uskani. Lilitumwa na kiranja wa chama kumwakilisha mahali leo afternoon. Lakini mimi nikasema hapa Kisii siwezi kosa. Kwa hivyo nimekuja hapa, nimeshirikiana na nyinyi dakika chache ili tuonane ana kwa ana. Lakini I promise you, with my treasurer, with our chief whip, with mheshimiwa and others, wakati huu tutakuja tutazurura katika hii maeneo. Sisi pia tutajipanga. Mimi najua kura yenu ni ngapi. Politics ultimately is an arithmetic. Mimi tukipanga hapa, tukipanga Pwani, tukipanga kwingine, tutamwelesha Kindiki kama unaenda hapo mbele, utapatia mtu wetu hapa, alafu baadaye wewe utapatia mtu wetu tukiendelea. And that's what politics is about. And not because we are ethnic, but we want to create an opportunity for everyone. Na kwa hivyo mimi I'm very confident we will engage more and more in the future. So ndugu yangu, mimi nataka because of utmost respect I have for you, I am here hata kama ni dakika chache because we love you as our treasurer, we respect you as one of our leaders, and we will continue to support you as one of the brothers who is keeping this government alive and making this party vibrant. Na hawa watu wa Kisii kule Nyaribari chache, hawa wameona mbali, wanakuregesha na wewe alafu wanakupeleka sisi Kenya tunakupeleka mbele. Mungu akubariki.
Let's clap for the SG properly. So we will proceed with the program, and then the SG will leave at his convenience. So I'd love Professor Machuki to respond to the questions directed to you, and kindly, once you've responded to those questions, in 3 minutes, I'll allow you to talk about she na sha. 3 minutes. I'm talking about zile dakika tatu za Mungu.
Thank you very much, Arnold.
And Prof, just before you forget, if you have not received the message on check-in, please do, because we are closing the check-in at noon. Kama hujapata message ya check-in, please do that. Na niliwaambia watu wenye kuna lines za Airtel, tafadhali fix that before then. Prof.
Thank you. Thank you for that housekeeping. Comrades, I want to respond to the questions that have been put across to me. Inability of vulnerable families to educate their children, and the need and the proposal that the bursaries need to be included in the new funding model, or have capitation that takes care of those vulnerable families. I want to respond this way. It is the same issue that has been raised here with regard to the vulnerable families that the new funding model was thought about. And as we progress in the conversations that are ongoing, it is important to note that part and parcel of the terms of reference to the broad-based committee that has been established is to look at the structure of the loan facility to the students, and at the same time also look at how the different bursaries that are with NGCDF, the bursaries that are at county level, how all of those can be consolidated to, form a single bursary kitty for the vulnerable children from the humble backgrounds. It is important also to note that during the application, and this is very important, one of you said that in this hall is the most critical resource, that is the intellect, and that is why this policy conversation is taking place where you have the young, energetic, not only in age, but also the most prolific minds, the most creative, innovative minds. We have brought this policy conversation here so that it is cross-fertilized to ensure that it has impact. Please do this. What is called the means testing instrument is not a thermometer. It is built using the information that you provide about your background. It is called the means testing instrument. It's not anything that is built by somebody. It is inbuilt into the system so that the information you provide, if you are from the vulnerable background, provide that information, and that information is going to be of importance to categorize you, place you where you have the level of need well determined for funding. That was the whole essence of bringing these families into the fold. The other question that was asked is about the sports activities in schools, in universities, arts, culture. Madam director here will respond to that, but let me say something that is very important. How many of us have had the interest of Googling UDA party manifesto? Just Google UDA party manifesto. If you Google, you will get in there the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the plan for the government. If you go to a section of that plan where we talk about digital, superhighway, and the creative economy, there are a number of strands there. One, we have talked about sport. Two, we have talked about film. Three, we have talked about art and all that ecosystem. So how do you then benefit out of that? Through your talent and the talent development, as you go through your studies, it will be important to have an understanding how government has committed to develop talent and can fund your talent development for you to be able to earn an income from your talent. Please go in there and check what we have. But I will leave the rest of the question to Madam Director here. Lastly, is a question on funding vis-a-vis entrepreneurialism among the youth. A very important thing. By the way, let me tell you, finances or funding is never a problem. But also know this, funding or finances can never buy you brains. It can never give you ideas. Where does it start? It starts with developing a very well-rooted entrepreneurial culture. What is entrepreneurial culture? You need to be alive to the realities in society, get to observe that there are problems in society. Those problems require solutions. Those solutions are ideas that you can package. Once you package an idea, it becomes viable when you do market research for it, when you do economics around it. What sector of the economy is affected? For example, in Kisii here, and I'm proudly happy that I was born in this county. My home is just 5 minutes from here. You will find that there is no land. Hakuna shamba, Mheshimiwa Nyakundi. Kuna shamba? Hakuna. But do you just say that we come from here na hakuna shamba and you can do very little with that problem? Given that problem, you turn it into an opportunity. How? When you talk about animal husbandry, when you talk about livestock, she gave an example of chicken. I gave an example elsewhere with regard to livestock. You need less than a quarter an acre, a very small piece of land, to do only 4 cows that are of high grade and that you can earn. Through agricultural transformation pillar in the bottom-up economic plan, you will see how government is injecting a lot of resources into agricultural transformation. So, entrepreneurialism is about looking or being very keen on developments in society, identifying an opportunity, be ready to take the risk. Put that idea in a manner that can be packaged into a business plan, and that business plan details everything up to the kind of finances and the market that you are going to serve. Mostly, you start from the market. Is there need? Is there demand? Come back. So, I think, Madam Director, what happens, and the question is about business development services, but at the core of it is entrepreneurial development of our youth. So that when you give them the funds, it is not the funds that will make them come up with an idea. the funds will make them scale up the idea, implement the idea, and they become self-reliant, they become self-employed. Lastly, from Arnold, Chief and Shah. I know this is a conversation that is very emotive, but let me anchor the entire of this conversation. The president came to office with an intent to transform our country. 3 key principles guided his thinking. 1, democratization of the economy, ensuring that everybody is brought into the fold to participate in the economic dispensation of this country. That is why it is bottom-up. Number 2, institutionalization of the politics. This town hall is a clear example of the institutionalization of politics. We are here not to discuss personalities. We are here not to discuss communities. We are here not to discuss about who comes from where, but we are here to discuss about the new funding model. We are here to talk about Shah, SHIP. We are here to talk about financial inclusion, institutionalization, and the democratization of both politics and the economy. Lastly, entrenchment of constitutionalism. We are in a government that has promised to ensure that the rule of law and the constitutional dispensation takes its route to implement the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Out of those key principles that anchor the president's intent, there was a whole, engagement at the county level in this kind of forums, and we identified 5 key priorities that we have to deal with for us to transform the economy. 1, lowering the cost of living. And it has been talked about the SG, and we realize that the cost of living is all about food items on the table, and that is why government went to subsidize production instead of consumption, making sure that we have opportunities for everybody to participate in ensuring that we lower the production of our agricultural produce through the fertilizer subsidy and other interventions. Number 2, ending unemployment. And unemployment cuts across, and it is affecting the youth. The statistics indicate that over 600,000 youth graduate from our institutions of higher learning every year. The economy size is not able to accommodate all of them by creating white-collar jobs and blue-collar jobs. That is why we have a very robust program to ensure that there is labor mobility, there is a digital superhighway and a creative economy for self-employment. That is why we have micro, small, and medium enterprises to have the youth participate. And the government is providing catalytic funding, Hustler Fund, one of them, to ensure that you are in that ecosystem. Number 3, ensuring that we have a revenue base that is broad for everybody to participate into baking the cake in the economy. And that is why we talk about pesa, mfukoni, kazi ni kazi. And there is a lot of mechanisms and policy interventions that are in progress. Number 4, we are a country that is recognized internationally and globally. And we relate with other economies. So there is an aspect of ensuring that our foreign exchange is at the positive. And that is why the dollar and the shilling and the exchange rates have been stabilized to ensure that we have a positive foreign exchange balance. Number 5, and lastly, and very importantly, is inclusive growth. When you talk about inclusive growth, it is about leaving no one behind. Yule mtoto wa maskini na yule mtoto wa tajiri, uwe nani, awe nani, uzaliwe wapi, all of us are Kenyans, and the intent of the president is to have everybody into the fold. And that is why it is Most of us are at the bottom of the economic pyramid, and that is inclusivity, inclusive growth. When you look at those 5 pillars, what happens? What can bring about a quick turnaround? 5 pillars were identified. 1, agricultural transformation. Number 2, affordable housing. It has been ably brought out. Number 3, digital economy and the creative, digital superhighway and the creative economy. There are digital hubs in every constituency. And there is internet for the youth, because work is not only in the office. It's not only in a factory. There is a lot of work online. And that is why it's a pillar that can be a quick turnaround for ending unemployment. Number 4 is universal health coverage. And I will delve into it. And number 5 is MSME development, micro, small, and medium enterprise development. Let me then go to one of the pillars, universal health coverage. If you go to the better plan, you will find all those. We also realize that there are other enablers. You have education there, you have ICT, you have manufacturing, and you have foreign policy and how to engage with our neighbors and so forth. But most importantly, you have a core pillar there called governance. The Gen Z revolution was about governance. The politics of redistribution, the economics of redistribution. You tax us, you have the resources. How do you govern? How do you ensure there is no corruption? And so forth. Read the plan, and that is what we are packaging, and that is what we are unpacking. Universal health coverage. What is it all about? If you look at the architecture of offering our health care in the new constitution, it is a devolved function. So you have counties and you have the national government. On our analysis, we found out that every year a household has to spend close to around 150,000 out of pocket to pay for health care. We analyzed and found out that Kenyans in total spend up to 150 billion out of pocket to pay for health care. We analyzed and established that there are at least several WhatsApp groups that have been created where you are invited to either contribute for a medical bill, or unfortunately somebody has passed and there is burial expenses and so forth. So what is universal health coverage about? Universal means broad and inclusive access. Universalization of health care access. 2, 3 things. 1, the issue of financing became important. How do you finance health care? Number 2, the issue of access to quality health care. How do you ensure that? Number 3, the issue of ensuring that everybody, both the rich and the poor, have equal access to the same quality of health care. Now, the whole architecture then came to ensuring that for government to be able to push this health care, to have everybody access quality health care, we need to ensure that there is enabling legislation. And be very careful. I am now going to the legislative framework that allows government to roll out the universal health care. Mheshimiwa Nyakundi here and our brother mtoto wa pastor ako hapa, they have enabled government, the executive, to ensure that they roll out the universal health coverage. Law number 1, or a legislative act that was passed, number 1, is Primary Health Care Act. This one ensures that the level 1, the dispensaries like the ones around here, are well equipped, put together through what we called primary care networks, so that they are able to have the facilities well developed and financed, and by that law number 2 was passed, the Primary Health Care Financing Act. Primary Health Care Facilities Financing Act. It ensures that the resources that government gives to counties, and the counties used to allocate these resources to do other things other than developing the facilities of the hospitals, of the dispensaries. So that law then ring-fences that capitation to counties to ensure that it goes to health facilities, to ensure that the equipment are working. Number 3 is what we called the Social Insurance Act. Social Insurance Act is where the Social Health Authority is created. Social Health Authority, in some way, it does not replace the national housing, the national hospital, the national health insurance fund. It doesn't replace, because that was a fund, but this is an authority. Now, the Social Health Authority is an institution that has been created to ensure that it manages strategic purchasing of healthcare services from facilities all the way from level 4, level 6, level 5, level 6. For the lower levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, government pays directly, and as you get to level 4, level 5, level 6, then insurance will set in, and I will tell you why. Social Health Authority manages 3 funds so that it can engage in strategic purchasing of healthcare services from the facilities. Other than doing that, it also onboards the healthcare facilities that provide the services. Now, I will tell you where the problem has been and why there is a lot of disillusionment, a lot of reaction, a lot of concern. That is where you need to pay attention as brains in the society so that you are able to disseminate this information. When you have these 3 funds, the first fund is called Primary Health Care Fund. Primary Health Care Fund is the fund that ensures government funds all level 1, level 2, and level 3 facilities so that Kenyans can access health care services for free. Already, government has rolled out 100,000 community health promoters. These ones are going through households, wanapima pressure, wanapima sukari, wanaangalia headache, and so forth and so on. Then they can give you basic medication at household level. If the condition is beyond them, then they refer you to level 1 or level 2 or level 3 facility. But if the condition is beyond level 3, then you are referred to level 4. At level 4, Social Health Insurance Fund kicks in. So that is the second fund that Social Health Authority manages. Social Health Insurance Fund, called SHIF, is contributory. That is why it has raised a lot of problem. Honorable Nyakundi, there has not been any problem raised about Primary Health Care Fund. There has not been any issue raised about Critical Illnesses and Emergencies Fund. The issue is about Social Health Insurance Fund, because this is what replaced the National Health Insurance Fund. How is it working? 1, you must first register as a contributor. Registration is through *147#, and you go through the process. Many of you have done. So, and it has moved from, it now has those who are in payroll employment, both white collar and blue collar, that is in private and in government. But now, we have gone into looking at not at an employee, but as a household. So, if I am the one that is contributing as a household, if I was not employed, I will register in there and input my dependents. Then there is information I will provide as I register. This information is going to be used to determine my gross income. If I have some business, if I have some 1, 2, 3, and so forth. When it determines the gross income, then 2.75% of the gross income will be my premium. Initially, you will pay 500 as a non-employed person, but now it has been determined that that has come down to 300. It keeps on graduating depending on your level of the income. That is also called the means testing instrument to be able to onboard everyone. Now, when you access the services at primary care level, that is at the dispensaries level 1, level 2, level 3, it is for free. But when you go to hospital referred at level 4, you as a contributor and your dependents are able to access the services. Now, where has the problem been is that many Kenyans have not been able to onboard. You have registered, but you have not onboarded your dependents. Number 2, some facilities, more especially private and a mission, have not been able to sign a contract with the social health authority. Those are they are contracted to offer services. Because social health authority buys those services from those facilities, pays on your behalf because you contribute a premium for that insurance. Now, as you move to level 5 and level 6, and you have an accident, just an emergency, you have critical illnesses like cancer, kidney failure, and so forth. The fund that takes care of you, and it is non-contributory, is called Critical and Chronic and Emergency Illnesses Fund. That one is for free. Government pays for you. So that you don't have, you have been involved in an accident, you go to a facility, and they tell you first, pay before you are attended. The fund takes care of that emergency. The fund takes care of the cancers. The fund takes care of the kidney failures and all those critical and chronic illnesses. Now, the conversation has been on she. The problem is, please, let us all first on board. And once we have onboarded, at household level, let us bring on board our dependents. When you get the dependents, the information you provide, it will be used to create your level of premium contribution, because it is a means testing instrument that will be generated by the system. Once that happens, then social health authority and the health facilities are working, and it is work that is ongoing at a very high acceleration, that they are all onboarded, they are contracted to offer the services. For those that are salaried, those that are on payroll, it is 2.7% of their gross income. Akina Nyakundi here, Akina mtoto wa pastor, and all of us.
Thank you.
But for those who are informally employed, it is the information you provide, it generates your means testing information, it sets a level of the premium that you have to pay. Ranging from 300, it goes all the way up to the person who is paying 27,500. And you then access the services that are of the same quality, regardless of whether you have contributed 27,000 or you have contributed 300. That is the social health insurance. and it is one that is going to revolutionize healthcare delivery. It is going to ensure that corruption that has been in NHIF, the mismanagement of claims, having amputations from a chemist going to be claimed, and having men giving birth. It's all about corruption, and the corruption that we had to weed by creating a social health authority and by ensuring that SHIP is sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for Prof. I allowed him to take us through that a little bit lengthy so that it sinks in. One of the reasons why we are doing town halls is that we know that the future of Kenyan politics will no longer be in rallies, because rallies are one way. Tunasikizana? Haitakuwa kamkunji. Nyinyi ni comrades, mnajua kamkunji, si ndio? Hapa, policy conversations, policy and political conversations are moving to the boardroom, where you have got a feel of a boardroom and a rally, and that is what we are calling a town hall. Sawa sawa? The marriage between a boardroom and a rally is a town hall. We want where you can get details. And before I take another round of questions, I just need to emphasize this. Tunasikizana? Nataka uniwevie mkono kama tuko pamoja. Kama mtu amelala karibu na wewe, umwambie tulishaenda. So, the reason why we are moving into this as Kenya Kwanza is because we understand one thing, that the first liberation for us as a nation was chasing away the white man. We are in Kisii. This place used to be called Bosongo, sindio? Meaning ilikuwa pahali ya wazungu, sindio? So when the Mau Mau and the others actually resisted and we got independence, that was our first liberation. The second liberation was for the constitution that we have, governance and democracy. The third, and in my opinion, the final liberation, is in Article 43. It's about 6 things, and that's what we are trying to do under the framework of social justice and national transformation. That is health. Look at Article 43. It's about health, including emergency health care, housing, food, water, social security, and education. A number of you, as Prof was actually explaining why we are moving to the new funding model. Some of you are asking why it's necessary to change. You know, systems are not, we are not made for the systems. Systems are made for us, and we change them when we want. When we didn't like colonialism, we resisted it. Siyo ilikuwa change? Hello, si ilikuwa change? Comrades, power. Siyo ilikuwa change? At independence, we had a higher education loans fund, AMA Health, that had been established in 1952. In 1995, we changed to HELP. Hello? That HELP is no longer serving us, and we have to change it. At independence, we had the European Treatment Relief Fund for Wazungu peke yake, the precursor to NHIF. The Wazungu had their own. And then the Arabs and Asian Fund Authority, they are also taking for them. Africans didn't have. In 1966, Njonjo said we must have our own. When it no longer serves us, we must change it. Comrades, power. Tuko sawa? So, ningependa nichukue maswali. I just need to explain to you why it's necessary for us to do that. And I'll allow us to actually be gone from this place in the next 45 minutes. So, ushers, please help me. I'll be coming back so that Njue responds to the question on labor mobility. Some of you are asking why we are talking about watu kuenda mbali. Sasa hata nyinyi watu wa Kisii mnaweza kutuuliza hiyo, na saizi tuko na MP huko Minnesota, si ndio? Sasa kama angeenda. Hello? Comrades, power. So ushers, please, and try to balance men and women. Nime realize women are not so audible. Please give them a chance deliberately. People with disability also, like I said, tuko hapa kuongea. Usiogope, let us talk. Ushers, please. Get it to that gentleman next to the camera, kindly. A question in a minute or a comment in 2 minutes. You stand up, you tell us your name, the institution where you're coming from, and your question or comment.
Okay, I'm Dominic Ondabu, a student in Kisii University. Nafanya clinical nutrition and dietetics for the okay, since I'm from a medical field, congrats to the government on matters of health, because it is going to help wale watu wa chini.
And my main concern, not to the panels there, but our readers who are in the house. I'm a son of a poor peasant from Nyamware, Bobas constituency. As we are aware, Kisii County and Nyamira County is the main producer of bananas and avocados. You, as our readers, what have you done to help this lower mwananchi mwenye anateseka na hiyo avocado yake? Because if you go to Keumbu, we give much to Nairobi, Mombasa, and where. But here in Kisii country, we don't have a factory of avocado and matoke. Yes, iko yenye madamu alisema, but it consumes around 0.0001%. What about this of 99.999%? Thank you.
Thank you. Clap for Ndabu. Pigieni Ndabu. Sasa tuanze na wewe hapa hivi. Simama tu. Umevaa jacket ya chama, simama. Simama tu. Unajua tukisema tupigie Ndabu makofi, ako na confidence ya kuongea, huyu muungwana apigi makofi. Pigie Ndabu makofi. Comrades, power. Another question here. I have got one more panelist coming in. Since Vivian. Okay, akiingia utaona what you will do for her. A question here, kindly. There was somebody here. If not, at the back. I want the guys at the back.
Happy Sabbath and happy day. I'm Rondo Samuel from Tomboy University, Homa Bay. I'm so happy to see my MP, Alpha Miruga. The first question, why is this government prone to strikes and demonstrations? Like lecturers are striking, I don't know the problem. The second question, what criteria did you use when you were placing the students in the bands? Because I see rich people, they are on band 5, the poor band 1, they are paying huge amount of money. Why? Thank you, God bless us.
Thank you very much. Clap for him. I hope panelists were taking note of those questions, even though some of them have actually been responded to as to why people ended up in different bands. Guys, this is the most active place. Let's start here. Relax. I'm seeing you. Mimi nakuona. Aya, swali in a minute.
Yeah, my name is Lydia. I want to ask a direct question. The other day, I was in a certain sub-county hospital, and then there were some mothers walirudishwa kwa sababu they need to start from a dispensary before wafike hapo. And then unfortunately, huyo mama, the nearest hospital ilikuwa ni hiyo sub-county hospital. So she was forced to use again 100 shillings before afike to the nearest dispensary. And she was really in pain. I really felt bitter. I don't know how, despite we are going to start from the dispensary level, how are we going to tackle the issues of people who are coming far from the dispensaries. Thank you.
Thank you. Get to that gentleman behind you. This one here. This one here. Ushers, look at me. Nyinyi mnainua mkono, look at me, I'll see you. And ushers, follow my instructions.
Thank you much. Yesu asifiwe.
Amen.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Kwa majina naitwa Diukomai. Facebook ama media naitwa Sauti ya Mwananchi. I'm a student also from Kisumu National Polytechnic. And I have some 1-2 questions.
No, one.
Okay.
Kindly. Proceed.
One question.
Yes.
No problem. I can as well go and ask it. Swali la kwanza. Okay. Swali hiyo ndio hiyo.
You know I'll cut your mic, so please, let's just go by.
I have just one question.
Please proceed.
Affordable housing You say that it's an elephant project of the government.
Who said?
Okay, let me go ahead ask, no problem. Mulisema kwamba ndio project kubwa ya government.
Elephant.
Is affordable housing a long-term or a short-term liability that can help youth or the comrades who are seated here today? Thank you very much.
Question number 2. I'll give you number 2. Ask question number 2.
Ask number 2. My question is, what criteria mulitumika nini kwa kusema kwamba ama mtatumia nini kusaidia hawa wanafunzi ama comrades ambao tumekaa mahala hapa wapate kazi mahala pale government imesema kwamba tuko na affordable housing? Ni nini tutatumika mahala pale sisi wanafunzi wale ambao tuko katika polytechnic tunaweza pata mahala kazi mahala pale?
James Maina, that will be your question. I don't want to leave here. Give it to this gentleman. Nataka nikitoka hapa nimemalizana na nyinyi. Nakuja. Your name, institution and question. Comrades power. Situsikize. Tumesema there is freedom of expression. Sawa sawa. Tuonge, we are not afraid to talk. So let's engage.
Yes, my name is Elijah Samuel, Kisii University. I have one question. My concern is this. Who told this government that teachers are very rich? Because many of the teachers, this being Kisii land, many of us are the sons and daughters of teachers. And many of us have been placed in band 4, where we are supposed to pay much. My question is this. Who told the government that teachers are very rich and they belong in band 4? Thank
you. But the government pays teachers, so the government knows. Anyway, Professor Machuki, you will respond to that. I need to move from here. You guys have asked questions. Let me go at the back. Kindly. Kindly, at the back. Give this guy here. Relax. So,
good morning.
Your name, institution, and then question.
Chrysantas Malak, graduate from TOG. I'd like to ask one question about the housing agenda. I'm a graduate, and I'm seeking for an opportunity on the housing agenda. I did a technical course. I went there. Now, when I go to the field, I'm seeking for the opportunity. You'll go there, and I will get employed as a casual laborer. Now, when will I pay this help loan that I received when I was joining?
Thank you very much. Can I get a lady, please? Okay. I'll be back here. This is not a lady, bwana. I'm a question?
Thank you. My name is Reggie Mike, a student at Kisii University. Comrade power is down because some of us came without taking tea. So, the Kenya Kwanza government promised to create employment opportunities to Kenyans. And now, this is now my question. When you are saying that you've created job opportunities to youths abroad, why can't you create these opportunities in our own country? Why do we have Chinese present in our roads when in truth we have engineers graduating from Kenyan universities each and every year? Another question, we have the Ministry of Labor. We graduate from the universities, and when we go out to look for jobs, they tell us that we need an individual with 15 years experience. Where will we get this experience if not given an opportunity? Comrades, power!
Hebu rudi hapa kwanza, simama. Simama. Ulisema unaitwa nani?
My name is Oreje Mike. Oreje Mike.
Enda pole pole.
Okay. My name is Oreje Mike. I'm a student of communication and media, Kisii University.
Thank you. Njue, that is your question. You will actually have to handle that. Thank you very much. Please clap for him. Now going forward, my eyes are going to be blind to men. Mko wengi sana. Any lady willing to actually ask a question? Okay, please proceed.
Comrades power. Now, I don't know where I should direct my question because university students, by now, our studies are paralyzed. We are not studying. Now, which hope will you give us when we are not studying? We are in school, kulala tunja. So it's not making sense.
Okay, please clap for her. Can I get another lady so that then we respond to those questions? I want to close that round with a lady's question. One more lady. Okay. Give it to that gentleman.
Comrades power.
No, your
Comrades
name.
power.
Ngoja, usikuwe na haraka, relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, just stand up.
Thank you.
So your name, institution, alafu tusalimie na utuulize swali.
Okay, thank you. I'm Justin from the great University of Kisii. I'm taking Bachelor of Education at. So my question goes to the professor. He said he's among the team that's advising our able president. So there's this thing of priorities and the issue of the. When I was in primary, we were taught that there's what we call necessities, basic needs. So what advice do you give our president about the priorities he should take? For instance, my sister said that we are not on with our learning as the university students. What have you done to ensure that we are going back? Because we have not seen any progress to ensure that we are back to the system. So kindly answers. Thank you.
Kindly get me the mic so that then we have got our panelists responding. Midway, while we were having a conversation, the PS for MSMEs walked in. So I'd love her to open this particular session. I'll be back. Relax, I'll be back. Nilikuwa hapo na hukuinua mkono. Saizi nimekuona, nitakuja. So, she will introduce herself, greet us, then first of all respond to questions on Hustler Fund. Bado kuna ile swali, kuna watu hapa wako na wasiwasi kama unaendea M-Pesa yao. There was an issue about you raiding the M-Pesas, ukilipa Hustler Fund. Lakini nimewambia walipe, na tumekubaliana tuko na mpango tutalipa. So tell us about Hustler Fund.
Thank you. Arnold, I don't know if I can stand and respond.
We can change this.
So can I stand?
Please do.
Okay. Good afternoon. Hamjambo. Bwana asifiwe. Asante. So my name is Susan Auma Bangeni. I'm the PS for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And before I respond to your questions, I want to provide a certain disclaimer and why I'm here. Because you see, we are supposed to be non-political, but I'm here because I should be here. Why? Because my mandate is to work with the Kenyan citizen population from wherever they are. In fact, is to go where they are. If they're young people, if they're women, to move around the spaces in where they are and help to organize them in formation or in ways where they can participate effectively in the economy. I'm here because this is a space for our young people, our present day strength, and our tomorrow also. So I'm here so that I can talk to you in the presence of your political leadership, because where we are as a country, for us to make sure that no one is left behind, to carry everybody, we must mainstream economic conversation in the political conversation. And I think that's what has been lacking. And I want to thank the ruling party, and I call upon also other party. Whenever they organize, I'm ready. Where the people are, I'm there. Because when it comes to economic conversation, empowerment, poverty, nobody should be left behind. We cut across political divide. So I'm here rightfully to talk to you, and hopefully after this engagement, I will have some contacts through which we can follow up and ensure that nawasaidia kuweka pesa wapi mfukoni. Really, I do not know the questions about the Hustler Fund, but one thing I know is that majority of young people, close to 67%, are benefiting from a Hustler Fund. Out of the 24.6 million of the Hustler Fund beneficiaries, 67% of them ni vijana. Na pia muko hapa kwa hii room. Sadly though, majority of those who have defaulted pia ni vijana. Sasa sijui tutapangana aje. Si mtaniambia vile tupangane. I can see you are making very good proposal on the new funding model. I want you also to make some proposal on how we can enable access to affordable credit so that as you study, you equally work, generate income, and support us in developing our economy. Hiyo ndio niko hapa to see how we can partner with you. Ukisoma pia huku fanya ka hustle kando, ili unaweka pesa mfukoni, unakula kitabu pia unaweka pesa mfukoni. That is my work. So on the Hustler Fund, whether we are going to forcefully recover, I don't know. How was the question? I don't want to imagine a question I never had.
Not really. It's just a response to the media headlines sometimes back that your ministry was planning to raid our M-Pesa accounts. So it's just important that you assuage that. I know there's a statement that went out to that effect, but normally that statement did not move as fast as the headlines.
Okay. So, yeah, just to clarify, so Hustler Fund we leverage on the existing infrastructure, the telcos, and the banking, because we thought it was not right for us to reinvent the wheel by having our own bank and also having our own mobile network company. So we said, because Safaricom, Telecom, and Airtel had already made some progress, and most of us are subscribers, we said we will overlay our wallet there, to make the work easier. But before I respond to that question, how does Fuliza work? How does Fuliza work? How many of us have Fulizad? How many of us have Fulizad? Just carry. I have a solution for you. How many of us have Fulizad? All of us, isn't it? All of us have Fulizad. So once you Fuliza, what happens? Mtu akikutumia kakitu, nini ifanyikanga? Kanafanya nini? Na mbona mjailia? Mbona mjailia? So now with the Hustler Fund, we are not going that route. Sawa sawa. That's the reason why if we wanted to Fuliza, we would have Fulizad long time ago. Hata tungekuwa na deni. But Hustler Fund, we wanted to give you an opportunity to build your credit rating, your credit worth. Because most of us, especially the young people are seated here, how many of us have title deeds? Nani ako na title deed hapa? Tuko nayo? Nani ako na title deed? Uko na shamba? Wamekugawa title deed? Muko na title deed? Guy, we are preaching to very rich young people here. Mashamba ni ya wenyewe, si ndio? How many of us, if we wanted to borrow a loan today, our parent, our dad or our mom can give us title deed? Just raise your hand. How many? Yule atakupea uende nao. Kuna yule atakupatia? Watatupatia hata kama ako nayo? Na kama iko si imesha kuwa committed? So now, Hustler Fund, through Hustler Fund, we want to relook at the collateral system in this country. because we still believe kama unaonyesha tu tabia mzuri, unaweza aminika, unaomba na unarudisha hiyo 500. Ukiwa mwaminifu kwa 500, utakuwa pia mwaminifu kwa 1,000,000. Tunaelewana? Na kama mnaona haifanyiki, hebu mwende mkae karibu sana na wale wenzetu wa ile dini ya Kiislamu. Waulize vile wao wanafanya mambo yao. Kwa nini biashara zao zinasonga? Ni uaminifu tu. So we kuaminika, ukiomba hiyo 500, you must have a need. As per you are borrowing that 500. Usiombe tu kama hauna need. So Hustlers Fund, we realize most of us were suffering. Maybe you have blizzard money, imeenda, and you are to pay for your unit, you are to pay for your school fees. There's nothing you can do. To say we'll give you Hustler Fund, you'll have 14 days. You can do whatever you want to do, uhustle kidogo rudishe. Tulianza na 500. Today as we speak, kuna wale beneficiaries, they can borrow up to 50,000 per borrowing. Na niko nao. Halafu kuna wale ambao waliomba mara moja kama wengine wetu hapa, na wakasema hii tulijipigia pole na wakaenda. Sina ukweli? Lakini mkasahau ya kwamba suliomba through the phone. Sasa mimi nakujua, najua wewe ni nani uka hapa, Susan, whatever hapa, line yako tunajua mali uko. So tukasema sisi hatutaki kuraid your accounts. So 2 years down the line, we've been encouraging you, pay, do what. But today as I stand here, we have disbursed 59.6 billion to 24.6 million Kenyans. You remember ukiomba una save, 5% inaenda kwa saving. We have mobilized 3.3 billion in saving, na hiyo pesa ni yenyu, ambayo is accruing interest there. You can access 30% short-term saving, 70% inaanza sasa kuwa ile ya pension yako. Si kuna mali pia itafika mali tuendenge tukizeka. So this is how Hustler Fund is doing. So it's not there to punish you. Now hiyo swali whether we are going to raid, we are not going to raid your account. I will still come to encourage you to repay, because we are now introducing some goodies. On 30th of November this year, during our 2nd anniversary, we are going to introduce another loan called bridge loan. Now that bridge loan, unfortunately, it will only be for those people who have been borrowing and is paying well. So let's say today your current limit is 20,000, you have grown. That day you will be able to access triple. Your limit will raise from 20,000 to 60,000, which you can access at any given time you want. And remember, you're also saving. So we are rewarding good behavior because that's what we want to encourage. And in the future, we want your Hustler Fund credit course to become your title deed, to become your pay slip. You can walk with it to any bank, KCB, Equity, and ask for a loan without being asked to give a title deed. So that's what sets us apart from other digital products. Why am I saying this? Secondly, we'll be introducing also, we have a program called Nyota, National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement. And we'll be giving out 50,000 grant money to young people between the ages of 18 and 35. We will train you first, alafu tukupatie ni project yetu na World Bank. Uende ufanye kitu ambacho unaweza anza kufanya. If you don't have a digital device, you want to buy a laptop, you can buy. You want to buy a phone, you can buy. Lakini kwa sababu I'm rewarding good behavior, mimi naenda kuangalia vile uliomba hiyo 500 vile unalipa. Kama umedefault, hiyo program ikikuja, it will only target the good borrowers and repair. So I'm trying we want to nurture good borrowing behavior around credit, because we want to demolish if your title deed. Most of us do not own land. Finally, we'll also be rolling out another program. We started rolling out for young people here with good ideas. I know Kisii, if you look at the value chain, we are talking about tea. On the other side, we are talking about banana and vegetable, green leafy vegetables. You can do value add. Now, you may be asking, where do we get those machinery? Again, we have a product. Again, tunawasaidia on co-investment. If you want to buy machineries, even up to 20 million shillings, I will put in 70%, you'll put in 30%. But because it's targeting young people, you can come together in a group, register as an association, tuwapatie ile finje, si mnaona ile finje nimwambia 50,000. You mobilize your 30% from there, I come in and put 70%. But as I've said, because we want to support good, responsible citizenry who can borrow 500 and repay, enda ulipe hustler fund ili ukue eligible ya kuomba hizi pesa. I think I've responded on hustler fund.
Thank you very much. Tupigie PS makofi tafadhali, tumpigie katibu makofi. Our time is stretched, so I'll start with you, Bwana James Maina. Comrades wamesema wanataka kujua kama wanapata nyumba na kama kuna kazi. Tafadhali. Can he get that mic, please? In 3 minutes, I would really appreciate it.
Okay. The comment and the question is there. Is affordable housing program a short term or long term? It's both. Let me go direct to the question that has also been in the House, because the economy does not perform in one singular, it's a combination of all. How? We have an urban population that is increasing, eating up on agricultural land. And one way of addressing this is affordable housing program, where we are increasing densities. The cost of land is very expensive. It is always estimated between 15 to 30% depending on where. Before you think about putting up a house, you need that amount of money, 30% to the cost of the development. Now, affordable housing deflates this cost by putting high density in one space. It also reduces the government's expenditure on infrastructure because you give services to people who are close to one spot. This has enabled us to have houses that fit all our economic spectrum. We have social housing, which allowed monthly rent of 3,200 for you to pay rent and own that unit. We have affordable housing and we have market housing. How it is on the short term? You can enter into affordable housing, immediately get your employment within your little income by getting into an affordable housing. Instead of renting out, you pay rent to own that house. And we have given a long period up to 30 years. If you have money along the way, you can pay. The structure of affordable housing allows you, as you progress in the economic ladder, you can also progress with your house. As you progress in family life, you can also progress on your unit. You can start with a studio, and all affordable housing are designed in such a way that they have adequate facilities. It has a kitchen, a bathroom, and all that facilities that make one house. And that is in accordance with our constitution, that the government must provide to its citizenry, that is Article 43, adequate housing with proper sanitation. That is spelled out very clear in the constitution. So you can't transit. When you get married, for example, you can move from a single unit to a one-bedroom unit to three-bedroom unit. You can move from a social unit to an affordable unit to a market unit. You can move to a higher quality unit to a bigger unit. That is allowed. And more so, You can start with your unit in Kisii. You get a job in Kisumu. Here in Kisii, you have worked for 2 years, and you have been paying for 2 years. You can move, find an affordable housing in Kisumu. You work there for another 3 years. You get a job in Mombasa. Again, you can still transit. So that unit, you can move with it within the affordable housing program, because we are constructing houses across Kenya. So you only need to move, calculate your amount, you identify the house, and then you'll be moved to where you want. And that allows that flexibility. It has never been there. And that's what happened in most countries in the developed world, and it is here now. Of course, I've mentioned the short-term gains to the students, including internships, attachments. In the course of students learning, particularly the students who are studying courses related to the built environment, normally you are given 3 months to go and look for attachments. In where our affordable housing programs are, we are giving this attachment to students so that they can gain that expertise and be able to graduate. After graduation, we are also offering internships. How are we offering our internship? In all our projects, we have given consultancy services to consultants. We have consortiums consisting of firms of engineers, planners, environmental experts, QSs, electrical engineers, all. And we have given them a program to attach students for internships. Our first lot, which we advertised, we are finishing, we will take up 2,000. We want to take another 2,000. So in every year, we have a program to be taking approximately 4,000 students for attachment in across the country. And this is not a long term, it's a short term for you students. Again also, because this does not happen independent. You have heard you can get a loan. In our construction, we have put our construction projects in such a way that we have identified items that can be delivered and be manufactured by our juakari and small enterprises. And these projects, small projects, you mean a contractor will subcontract directly to the juakari. And we have set items, doors, windows, balustrades, all these which can be manufactured by juakaris. You can easily take up a loan, and you can easily make a startup in an affordable housing program. And we go loud, get all the SMCs that are associated in the construction industry where our projects are, and we register them. And then they competitively compete for these jobs, and we allow them to do. And I've said 4.4 billion of the project that we have said we are currently undertaking, approximately 130 projects. 4.4 billion of that money will go directly to the juakari. Okay?
Thank you.
Tunaelewana? So, the opportunities are there. It's your entrepreneurial knowledge that can lead you in there. If you are looking for opportunities in the consultancy services, yes. If it's training, yes, we are offering that. And of course, and I always not sure whether this should happen, my friend has talked about that we are planning for, and they are working this aggressively, on how people can get jobs abroad. You are aware that after the World War II, Japan, Germany, they all relied on the construction industry to revive their economy. You are aware there are countries that will require reconstruction. And these, I know, they are very good opportunities. And I know, my friend, you'll be working on that when that opportunity comes. So it is long term and it is short term. And as well, an asset of a house is a life asset. It is a long term. And it is the best alternative way for investment worldwide. There is nothing else other than real estate that has ever been stable all over the world. And even Trump is a real estate guy. So this is an opportunity, everyone, whether you are a doctor, wherever you are, this is where you can start your investment by owning a home. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Before I summarize, through our Boma Yangu, we have put the architecture on how to own a home in an incremental way. If you dial 832#, you start your home ownership journey. You save as little money as 200 shillings, any amount of money, until you get a deposit to the unit that you own. We require a deposit of 10%, but again also, if you are unable to raise the deposit, there is a deposit assistance you can apply for so that you can get into the house and start paying rent to own a house. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Remember to get a house, *823, right?
*832#.
*832#. Usisahau, Njue, kindly, allow you to respond to the question on labor mobility. It's a political question that keeps on coming up, but please respond briefly and any other thing.
Okay, thank you, Arnold.
And just before you proceed, there is quite a little bit of consultation. I will be inviting the two of you to tell us ile kitu mlikuwa mnacheka, lakini wache tumalize na hapa kwanza, so that all of us tucheke pamoja.
Thank you very much, Arnold. Let me start by saying that labor mobility is actually dynamic. We have Kenyans who are ready to work here in our country. There are others who are ready to work out there in other countries. And we know that the world has actually become a global village, isn't it? Now, if you look at the vacancies that are available in Kenya, we cannot all get those vacancies. And we know that we have highly skilled Kenyans who can actually work outside the country and earn income. We've seen that the remittances to Kenya from people living outside the country are actually huge. Labor mobility has earned Kenya a lot of money through, as I've said, remittances. It is also important to note that when Kenyans go out and they earn a living there through employment or even doing business, they assist other Kenyans in the country, their relatives, their friends, and so on and so forth. It is therefore important to note that we have local placements and foreign placements. In the next few weeks, our Cabinet Secretary, the CS for Labor and Social Protection, Dr. Alfred Mutua, will be spearheading a recruitment drive in all the counties. And all the recruitment agencies will also be involved because these are the people with various vacancies. They will recruit Kenyans in different counties. And when it comes to that recruitment, we are not saying that it will just be for foreign placement. Even local placements will be done through that recruitment drive. Then somebody asked, must one have an experience in order to get a job? It is not a must. You can actually go through the process of internship, as my friend has actually talked about. And out of that experience, out of that internship, you get the experience. And we have seen so many Kenyans who are actually absorbed by the companies or even the government where they do their internship. And that is why the Ministry of Public Service, through the Public Service Commission, gives our young people the chance to do internship in various government ministries and departments. Out of that internship, you get the experience and you also get employed in some instances. Therefore, please note that if a chance strikes, take that chance, because a chance strikes once, right? Take advantage of that. So we shall be informing you on the programs that we have, on where recruitment will be done. Here in Kisii, I think it will be done in the month of December. It will be announced to you. Our CS will do that. And if you have any person who is not yet employed, tell them to take that chance and see whether they can actually get employed. The CS also ended the recruitment of Kenyans to go and work in Qatar. You saw that, isn't it? So many Kenyans took advantage of that. But let me tell you one thing. If you have to get that job, make sure that you have your papers ready. Don't come for that recruitment without papers, right? Ensure that your papers are ready so that you can be interviewed. And if you succeed, that will be very good. So we are planning to recruit or to have a recruitment drive for as many Kenyans as possible, so that some can work in Kenya and others can go and work outside the country.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's clap for Mr. Njue. Allow me to come down here. This is Sam. He's the UDA, even though he's dressed in a t-shirt that looks like broad-based. This is broad-based yellow. He's our director in charge of membership. Now that we're talking about people subscribing, star 832 for housing, star 147 for SHA, star 254 hash to pay Hustler Fund, kindly tell us in a minute about how you actually become a member of UDA. This is a UDA event, and we are an apologetical UDA, by the way. Hata tai ni ya yellow, nguo yako ni ya yellow, so mbona usijoin UDA?
Thank you, Arnold. Comrades, power. Tuko sawa. Thank you, Arnold. Now, yangu si kama ya our lovely PS. Yangu hakuna kitu nalipa, ni free. So yangu ni star 509 hash. Unakuwa mwanachama wa UDA. Let me tell you guys, there is every benefit in being a member of a political party. Na usidanganywe na huko nje. You see, when we did our grassroots elections, and I'm sure we are doing a quick one very soon in Kisii County, is that we have positions specifically for the youths. Now youths ni nyinyi. If you look at this Comrades chapter, one of the overriding aspects is that we want to have a deliberate, as a party, a deliberate effort in terms of having the youths including in the political process and governance of our country. So si kitu naambiwa na huko nyinyi ni leaders wa kesho, mnaanzia leo, si ndio? Na kuanzia leo ni kumaanisha lazima ukue karibu. So being far away from the ruling party, hata unapotea. Let me give you one of the realities of being showing that the government is very deliberate through the UDA party is that look at the new funding model. Actually, out of the 129 gazetted members, 60 are students. Kuna mali ingine ushaisikia kwa watu wa students wakiwa involved in that kind of a level. Sini tu, that is the reason of, a benefit of being in a political party. So, I want to congratulate you today. At least we have been able to get over 300 new members of the UDA political party in Kisii today. Clap for yourself. Asanteni sana na tufanye tena *509#. Na uingie kwa chama ya UDA that has a leader who is very deliberate in terms of making sure that our youths see leaders wa kesho ni wa leo. And that is none other than His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Asante.
Clap for him. Tumpigie makofi. It's important to be a member of a political party because a lot of times we are criticized, but we are not part and parcel. We criticize, but we are not part and parcel of the process of making. For example, we have nominated MCAs here. I'll allow Mheshimiwa to come and actually bring them here. There is a senator called Esio Kenyuri. She sent me a message and told me she wasn't able to get a flight on time. Before ukuwe nominated, ni lazima ukuwe member wa chama. Hello? Comrades power. So, join chama. One of the problems of our country is that we do not have long-lasting political parties. Join a party and change it from within. You people are not about tomorrow, you are about today. Sawa sawa? So join chama. Kuna, hapa you guys have got, I think, a number of nominated senators too. There's Gloria Ruoba, there is AC, na hiyo by then Anglo Leasing Treasurer. Unajua sisi Kakamega, sisi Kakamega hatuna. Anyway, so having said that, please join the party. I'd love to actually have waheshimiwa come in. But so that then nibaki kwa spirit na ile mode ya students, I don't want to handle that particular process. I'll bring in the treasurer to bring in the waheshimiwas who are here, then we come to a conclusion. Simuko sawa? So I'll see you on the other side, then I'll come back with questions.
Thank you so much, my brother Maliba. Thank you so much, our panelists. You have really done a good job. P.S. Mangeni, thank you so much for coming. Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades transact. Comrades transact. Leo amuinami. Leo to make sure me transact. Comrades wisdom. Comrades wisdom. A relationship or a breakup should not find you what? A breakup should not find you what? A breakup should not find you single. Hata sisi kama serikali ya Kenya kwanza, ile breakup ambayo ilikuwa inakuja did not find us single. Ilikuja ikatupata kama si tulikuwa tumejipanga? Yes. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for coming over today so that as the UDA party, we can engage on issues to do with the youth, on issues to do with comrades, on issues to do with leadership, on issues to do with governance. And that is why today we had our panelists here today so that you can hear from them and you can ask questions and we can be able to answer your questions, and which was very, very organic. Clap for yourselves. I am saying organic because these forums that we started for comrades we started so that we can get to hear what the young people of this country have to say and have to offer, so that we can also take the feedback that we are getting here today, so that the government can get to know what these comrades want, what they want, and what we need to do for them, because we believe we were elected to serve you people. We are your servants. Without talking much, first of all, I want to introduce my able team from the UDA party who have enabled us to be here today, who have organized this good function that you are having today. Wasimame tu hivi, tawawevu, muwajue, si ndio? These are the beautiful young men and women who have been able to organize this function. We have run a couple of functions before. We've been in Kakamega, we've been in Kisii, we've been in Machakos, we've been in Nakuru, we've been in Mombasa. Next week, we are headed to Garissa. So we are doing forums for the benefit of you people. And we want to tell you that most of the members of parliament, senators, and the people in leadership you see today, they started from forums like this one. A good example is my Secretary General, who has just left, Bwana Hassan Omar. He was a student leader at Moi University. My able chairperson, Cecil Mbarire, who was not able to be here today because he's with the president in Embu, was a student leader. Akina Babu Owino were student leaders. So Senator Sigei, Senator Aaron Cheriot, Murkomen, all those were student leaders. So you as students today, make sure you get into leadership and governance, because I know and I believe that you are the leaders of today and not the leaders of tomorrow. I'll give you my story later, but now let me give this chance to our MCAs who are here today, so that they can say a word before I give our honorable members of parliament who are here. The area member of parliament for Nyaribari Chache, Bwana Zahir Janda, yuko hapa nasi, mpigie makofi. Ale rongo to serale. Osoma itumbiale. Mbiyako guide. Nende na bwate bitoki. Na ende ntobwate tuko na ndugu yangu, mtoto wa pasta, mbuge wa Bomachoge Chache, Mheshimiwa Alpha Miruka, the most humble person, East and Central Africa, south of Limpopo. Sasa kwa heshima kuu, ningetaka ni waalike wa MCA wetu, nianzie na Mheshimiwa Edna, usalimie watu hivi, alafu tusonge haraka haraka kwa sababu hawa comrades wameinama muda mrefu, lakini leo hamuinami. She's nominated MCA under the UDA party.
Comrades power. Sijui pia ni mimi nirudi huko another degree ni kwa student leader kwanza ndio nikuje kuwa governor. Kwa majina naitwa Edna Kwamboka, nominated MCA Kisii County Assembly. Kwa hiyo opportunity nimepata, let me raise a concern because tuko na PS hapa anaweza shughulikia my youth, because mimi niko nominated to kuwakilisha my youth. Kuna hii issue ya youth fund and uwezo fund. Wakati hawa youths wakienda kutafuta hizo funds, there is a tedious process. For example, you ask a youth akupatie business permit, akupatie title deed, akupatie hizo vitu zote, payslip. Unajua youth hawana kazi. Ukiwatuma walete bank statements hawana. Ni wanataka startups. So wakati unaenda huko, for example, mimi nilienda kujaribu hiyo process, niko na payslip, nimefanikiwa, niko na title deed, bado natuma business permit, natuma guarantors, na guarantors unaomba guarantor ID, passport photo, KRA pin. You know, someone who does not have that much money ama is just starting up, mtu haezi mpate hizo details zote. trust haiko kwa mtu ana kakitu. Kindly, because hizo ni conditions zilikuwa zimewekwa mapema, as a government that is very deliberate in helping our youth, in empowering our youth, let's change hizo sheria kidogo so that they accommodate our comrades. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Na huyu alikuwa tu comrade juzi. Na unajua vile ametoka hivi anakula mshande solo. Kila mwezi anapata kamshahara na ako one man. Majamaa changamkeni. Haya, kwa hayo mengi sasa ningetaka kumuita Mheshimiwa Kombo pia yeye haje aseme. Na tunafanya haraka haraka au makomrades wakienda leo waende wakadishi kitu saa hizi. Idha ngori.
Asanteni sana. Comrades aye. By the names, I'm Honorable Paul Okomba Yema, MCA wa Boikanga from South Mogirango. I'm MCA to Silvanos Osoro Techiwi. Me, I don't have much to say. What I can conclude, this is a very good program. Secretary, bring them again and encourage the youth to empower them. When you ask them to give or deed for getting loans, it is very difficult for them to get land title deed. Just let them produce the ID and give them the loan so that they grow up. These are the good leadership who will come and take over the leadership. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Huyo ni mheshimiwa all the way from Boikanga Ward. Pigia yeye makofi. Sasa ningemwomba Mheshimiwa Nicholas njoo hapa. Mheshimiwa Nicholas ameenda wapi? I think he has left. With a lot of humility, let me call my brother Honorable Masieka, who is my MCA uko Kogogi Ward, before I call Bwari.
Thank you so much, my member of parliament, Honorable Chabet Mukanya Kundi. Comrades power. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Mko salama lakini? Kwa majina ni Mheshimiwa Jared Masieka, MCA wa Kogogi Ward. Kogogi Ward ni kitutu cha Chenoti constituency. Mahali Mheshimiwa Chabet Mukanya Kundi anatoka. Leo hii tunaongea na wale watu ambao wamekata tamaa katika maisha. Kwa nini niseme mmekata tamaa? Hakika Bwana PS, tuko katika hali ngumu ya maisha. Tuko hapa kwamba kuna kesho na kesho yao ni njema. Nataka kuongea kuhusu bottom up economic kupitia Asora Fund. Mimi ni product ya bottom up economic. Lakini katika zile enzi za Moi, nafikiri profesa unaweza kumbuka wakati katika ile serikali ya KANU tulikuwa na mchango Kenya mzima wa kuchangia vijana. Naomba tafadhali mnisikize kwa dakika moja hata kama mmechoka. Ule wakati ambao tulichangiwa pesa na Rais Moi vijana, wakati ule ndio ulikuwa ujana wetu. Katika enzi hizo nikapata mkopo, nikaanza biashara. Mimi sijawahi achiliwa katika maisha yangu. But leo hii I'm able to pay my bills kupitia kwa mwanzo mdogo. Kwa hivyo nawaomba tafadhali, nyinyi mmefanikiwa, mmesonga mbele kimasomo. Nawaomba tafadhali usitoke hapa vile ulikuja. Huu mkutano ni wa maana, mkirudi pale nje kuwa kama vioo wa jamii. Leo hii kupitia mwanzo mdogo, you may not believe, but I'm able to pay my bills without a political opposition. Nimeajiri hata watu kupitia kwa mkopo ambao nilipewa enzi za serikali ya Nyayo. Mnaweza fikiria ni msaa. Ila tu kitu moja na kuomba, wakati ule wa Nyayo, the government funded Equity Bank, so by that time it was a SACCO. Pale Kichichini tulitengeneza groups some go round. We used to contribute every Tuesday 100. So in a month I would manage to sell 400. But with that 400 I managed to get my first loan of 30,000 which nalipa in ukipewa wakati huo tulikuwa ukipewa 30,000 unarudisha 31 after 6 months. Nikaguro hivyo. Leo hii hata kama mimi ni MCA bado napata mkopo kwa hicho kikundi and I normally get 10 million from Equity Bank. Kwa hivyo ikiwa unaona labda ni sarakasi na kualika kwangu ni kuonyesha mahali nilianza na mahali niko leo hii. So it's a serious thing. Tafadhali tushirikiane na hawa, na kuna ukosefu wa kazi. Upende usipende, muna graduate annually like 100, you will only get employment 20%. Wengine lazima mtakuja huko tuaso. Biashara inalipa. Kwa hivyo kwa hayo mengi na washukuru na Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much. For those who don't know Masieka, Jared Masieka owns over 12 petrol stations. He owns a school. He owns couple of hotels as you see him like this. Sawa.
Na mimi sijai ajiriwa.
So young people get nini from me. Now I want to call your fellow comrade, Mheshimiwa Thomas Obare, lakini ni 1 minute sahi. A student of Nairobi University.
Thank you. Comrades, power. Comrades. Thank you. Treasurer, PS, William Meskia, my name is Obare Thomas, a former student at University of Nairobi and currently a student of law at Kisii University. Honorable Treasurer, as we say that we should nurture these comrades, I have seen my president there from the Kisii University. Thank you. I hope you had given her a chance to introduce herself. I've also seen a comrade Uawi at the University of Nairobi, Antonella Kukuko here. So therefore, comrades, what I'm saying, that these positions we are saying, these are positions that we should come out and fight for. As comrades, no one will fight for us, for you unless you fight for your own self. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you. That is Thomas Obare. Now I want to call upon my sister, Honorable Buari, to also say a word.
Good afternoon, comrades. My name is Dolphin Buari. I'm a nominated member in the Kisii County Assembly. First and foremost, as a woman, we always take the opportunity of welcoming the visitors who have come into our county. So all the visitors from the panelists and everyone who's coming, karibu sana Kisii County. Secondly, I'm a UDA member, a life member of UDA, and one of the reasons I joined UDA, it's because of the interest I saw they had with the people at the bottom of the economic pyramid. And I'm happy that we are still pushing that agenda. Even after elections, we promised people that we were going to deliver. Secondly, UDA is very deliberate in nurturing youth and ensuring that we have youth leadership. That has been demonstrated by the MPs that we have and the leaders that you have seen in front of us. You can see all the MPs that we have in front of us are all youth, the 4 MPs that we have in Kisii County. So the president has been very deliberate on youth leadership. The comrades in here have been answered their questions. They have been coming to us as the grassroots leaders, asking about the educational funding model. They want actually affordable education, and they have raised it here. They are actually also helpful on getting employment after they have finished from university. And the questions are being answered here. I thank you, the leadership of UDA, for ensuring that we have a forum where we include our young people to come in and ask questions and be involved in the decision making of our country, because this is the future leadership. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Mheshimiwa Buhari, she's nominated MCA and UDA. Now, let me take this opportunity to welcome my brother, Alpha Miruka, and then I call the area member of parliament, and then I give it back to the panelists.
Bwana asifiwe. Hebu ndungie mkono hivi. Bwana asifiwe sana. Niko na homa. I have some flu. Now, Sahiri wacha kucheka bwana. But I want to give you some few words of encouragement. Mimi nikae. Mimi naitwa Alpha Mbunga Bomachoke and a member of UDA. Now my focal name is Dr. Pastor. But I want to tell you something, for the panel people. This guy, I remember him very well. You're doing good? How are you, dear treasurer? Zahil? The only thing in this world that will make you be a person is when you will understand who you are. You understand what you are doing. You understand where you are standing. And you feel the void. You feel the gap. Otherwise, usipojituma utaachwa. If you cannot do, you'll be left. Wacha kuona vitu sikiendelea. Unaonanga boss sometimes, juzi, he stormed with some members of parliament. Anawaambia, some members of parliament wanaenda constituencies zao, wanasema they don't understand the difference between SHA and SHIF. And you find the same member of parliament who was in parliament when that law was being passed in that National Assembly. Why? He was there, but not committed. He was there, but he doesn't understand. Me, I'm a technical guy. Try to understand what you are doing. Fill the gap. Then, be the change by yourself. Don't expect people to change you. Change yourself. As young people, you are the future leaders. Sisi tunazeeka. Zahiri removed Tongi. Tongi was, tulikuwa naye last time. I equally removed somebody. Na mimi nitatolewa na mtu sijui ni nani. Na huyu mtu naye atatolewa na mtu fulani. Be in that gap. Be in the pipeline. Achieve what you want. Don't be a complaining person. That the government is not doing this. The government is just this. No. You are the government. Everybody here, akuna UDA mark, either kofia, a t-shirt, or a scarf. What does it mean? You are the government. Then if you are the government, you cannot say you don't understand what the government does. What you do, read and understand what are the government functions. How can you change, if possible? For example, there is a young man who asked about avocados. That's a very good question. But it's easy, as a national government, MPs, we just control national government functions. We have county functions. Now, if you cannot take time and read, understand how your government works, utaelewa kweli? What am I trying to encourage you? Try to be a person who indulges himself in doing the right thing at the right time. The second point, success does not come to you. You are the one to look for success where they are. For you to be a successful young man, you must be very aggressive, let me tell you. You must be very aggressive. Be a chunk of all trade means don't master anything, but do everything. You become a chunk of all trade. Kama kuna mjengo kwa shule, do it. Get 100 shillings. Put in the pocket. In that 100 shillings, manage 100 shillings. Which percentage can I take? Which percentage can I nichukue saving? Ni gani nalipa fuliza? Ni gani nalipa asofan? PS. Ni gani nitalipa asra fund? Ama si hivyo? Then from there you are able to manage 100 shillings. That means you'll be able to manage 1 million Kenyan shillings. Then if you are a good manager of the small resources you have, God in heaven who created you, you will be a member of parliament of a specific constituency to manage the constituents' resources. Then you will be a minister to manage the government resources. Then you will be a president like our boss Ruto, who was just a chicken seller. Now a very powerful man in this soil. Ask yourself, for those few remarks, the last one, never ever do anything in this world without trusting God. Don't ever think that without God you will never succeed, you will not succeed. Utaona uko nazo mingi, very influential, but they will start running away one by one. Why? Your foundation is not strong. Wherever you do, anything you do, base your foundation in the word of God. For those few remarks, mubarikiwe sana.
Asante sana mtoto wa pastor. I told you he's the most humble pastor East and Central Africa, south of Limpopo. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, sasa naomba ruhusa nimkaribishe mbunge wa eneo hili, kijana wetu Mheshimiwa Zahir Janda. Etoko morogana ki wenere tinge gosia. Piston 28.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Jafet. Comrades power. The UDA fraternity, PS wetu na the whole team, hamujambo. Kwa majina ninaitwa Zahir Janda, mjumbe wa hapa mahali muko. Hii harufu ya chakula munasikia ni mimi nimepanga. Na pia wakati mukienda msiwe na wasiwasi. Sisi tunajua kuangalia watu wetu. Kwa hivyo mrelax. Msiwe na wasiwasi ya kutoka. I want to say two things. First things first, I want to appreciate the UDA party and the government of the Republic of Kenya for recognizing the voice of the youths of this country. Na pia ninataka niwaeleze nyinyi vijana wenzangu, ni lazima mujitume. Huwezi kuwa tu umekaa hapa ati unaota utakuwa namna hii. Some of us, we have come from humble backgrounds. Myself, siasa hii, I have gone for 3 elections until juzi ndio nimechaguliwa kama mjumbe wa Nyaribari Church. The first time I ran was in 2013, nikazama. 2017 nikaibiwa. 2022 nikapita nikaenda mbele kabisa. I have been a businessman. Nimekuwa mkulima mdogo. Nilikuwa na biashara ya pool table na hizi vitu ya CD ingine ya movies ya kuangalia sinema. Unajua fikiria vitu vingine sio hiyo. I started from a humble background. I believed in ni lazima nijitume na nikajituma. Leo hii hata mimi niko hapa, ndio maana nimekaa hapa. Kwa hivyo you people, I want to ask you, usikae tu unalia serikali. Hapana. You have to go out of your way. And this time, I want to encourage you guys, the young people, you must take your political space. Sio kukaa tu hapa namna hiyo. Go, run for MCA, run for member of parliament, run for senator. Believe in yourself and you will be who you want to be. Kwa hivyo, nafikiri hiyo imetosha. Asanteni sana na karibuni hapa Nyaribari Chache. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Huyu anaitwa Mheshimiwa Zahir Janda, Umesikia harufu ya chakula ni yeye. Harufu ya pesa pia ni yeye. Na tukitoka atatupanga. I want to finish so that I give out the mic. We go home. I want to tell you, young people of Kisii and young people of this country, we started this program not because we had something hidden in it. We started this program so that we can be able to nurture the young people of this country. So far, we've run about 7 of these programs because we believe that in such kind of programs, we are able to get what is happening. Haswa, you've heard on the university funding model. The reason we started the university funding model, the new university funding model, is because our universities were dying. And out of the new funding model, most of the universities have been able to run themselves. We know we've had a few challenges in it. You people are in that committee of looking onto that issue. We believe that as government, we are going to be able to solve the problem of university funding model so that we go forward. Number 2, I want to tell you guys today, when you go home, kindly tell our parents or assist our parents in the knowledge that you've gotten here today on the issue of SHA and SHIF. As my brother Professor Machuki has said, when you have the SHA or the SHIF, when you're in that the new funding, the new model of NHIF, the previous, we've come from the model of NHIF to the new one. If you go to any level 1, level 2, and level 3, you will not pay even a single cent. Today, if you get an accident and you've registered for SHIF, you will not pay even a single cent. We've been paying a lot of money to people who have cancer, tunachanga. Everyone here is in one group or the other because ya kuchanga maneno ya cancer. If you are able to get into SHIF, our parents, wherever they are, they will not be able to pay, we will not be able to be paying money to treat them. The government of Kenya will be paying the money to treat our parents, our brothers, our sisters, wherever they are. And this is the reason we are here today, so that we assist you, get the knowledge or what the government is able to do for us, so that we can assist our parents and we can assist ourselves. I don't want to talk much, but on behalf of my party leader, President William Ruto, on behalf of my deputy party leader, Professor Kithure Kindiki, ambaye tulimweka juzi, and on behalf of my Secretary General who has just left here, on behalf of my chair as the UDA party, we want to assure you that we will make sure that we assist our young people in leadership and governance. Anytime you see us, maybe from January, coming along with the UDA elections, make sure you participate in the UDA elections, because as young people, you have a space there. And I believe out of these forums, in 2027, I will get MCS from inside here. I believe in 2027, I will get MPs from here. Out of this forum, I will get a senator from here. Hata gavana wetu anaweza toka hapa. Si ndio? So, what I'll tell you as young people, believe in yourself. I'm a true example of someone who believed in himself. I normally tell people this. In 2022, I was not vying for member of parliament. Zahir, akina Osoro, Alpha, ndio walinisukuma. There were so many other people ahead of me. We had Kisii, who's the current CS. We had Don Bosco. We had Ndem. Those were the ones who were vying. But these guys told me, of all those people, the person who can win this election, it is you. I went for nomination 1 month to. Nikatwanga. These people really assisted me. Akina Antonella here, Uyu Zahir, Osoro, Alpha. I won my nomination. After I won my nomination, His Excellency William Ruto, who then was the deputy president, called me, told me how to run an election, assisted me, held my hand, walked with me in my 4 words. He came in 4 words, telling people about me. He gave me moral support, financial support, and everything that I needed to win an election. You guys know, in Kisii, they elect young people. I was elected at 33 years old. After I won my election, William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, again, with all circumstances, took me and gave me a position in the UDA party, being a first-time member of parliament. In the UDA secretariat, I'm the only first-time member of parliament. And if you look on all other parties, you must be a second-timer or a third-timer to be given a position in the party. What does this mean? This clearly means that our president believes in young people, and our president and the UDA party will give you a chance if you come out and ask for these elective seats. Nobody will come home to look for you. Come out. I normally say, wake up, dress up, and show up. When you wake up, dress up, and show up, things will work for you. Believe in yourself, and the young people of this country will change this country now and not tomorrow. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, na waombea Mwenyezi Mungu nyinyi, na kabla mtoke, niko sure mtakuwa mmeangalia simu zenu. Mimi kama treasurer nimetransact. God bless you all.
Unajua treasurer akishafanya powerful presentation, huyu muungwana aliamua hata piga makofi. Tafadhali pigia treasurer makofi. Na upige vizuri. Hii mambo ya tunapiga makofi na upige piga. Muangalie na umpigie. Ah, wewe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Comrades, power. We have done well, and having paid the political debt, I want us to finish. But I'll ask this. This is a very important question you are asked. Are teachers rich? You are a teacher yourself. So, deny.
Thank you very much. Government did not determine whether teachers are rich or not rich. What happens is that the applicant, who is the son or the daughter of a parent who is a teacher, ought to have provided information that over and above being a teacher, there is a lot that this teacher does in terms of spending. There are other siblings. There are other siblings who are depending on that teacher's pay. There are other dependents who depend on that particular teacher. And the information that is provided is not subjectively determined by the government. It is objective, it is empirical. It may have been, from the questioner, that the information that the child from that particular background provided, or the applicant provided, is one that landed that particular applicant in band 4.
Thank you very much.
So that is empirical. Let me answer some
yes,
other question.
Prof, a moment.
There are questions that
I'll
I
allow
need
you.
to answer here.
I'll allow you. Hold on. This one is called Brian Korir. He is the chairperson of the UDA Comrades chapter. Ningependa wasalimie na waambie kwa nini anafikiria hii kitu iko hapa hivi in a minute.
Comrades, power. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We are here because we need to include the young people. One of the indicators that we know that most of the youths are the ones who are unemployed, and again we understand from the recent research, most of the youths are not informed on the government programs that are ongoing. So we are here to do a sensitization and tell you what exactly the government is trying to achieve and to better the economic system of this country and ensure that everybody is boarded, employed, and also have an opportunity like any other Kenyan and any countryside of this Kenya. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Tutazidi kuongea.
Clap for him. Prof, you are saying something. I'd
Yes.
love you to do that in a minute. I'll love the comrades to actually get moving.
Okay, thank you very much. A very quick question that is very emotional, that a patient went to a sub-county hospital and was told first, you go to the dispensary for you to be referred to the sub-county hospital. What is called the primary care network and the primary health care services, sub-county hospitals, level 5 and level 6, including hospitals like KNH. KNH can have services for level 1, services for level 2, services for level 3, designated so that within the entire institution you have different levels for referral. The reason why that may have happened is largely because the hospital administrators and those who manage those lower level facilities, probably an aspect of sensitization, so that it is very clear that even a level 4 hospital can actually have services that are offered by a dispensary at level 1, level 2, level 3. It is that very clear, but then it is the architecture that has not been able to be grasped by those who are supposed to manage those services. Let me get to Ondabu, who asked about bananas and avocados. One, Ondabu have an understanding that agriculture is devolved. That's one. Two, that government has taken on board agriculture transformation and has got 10 value chains. Avocado is one of those value chains, and bananas is one of those value chains. A value chain is where you look at the market and you look at the entire spectrum of who will play which activity, add value, and then the market is served. In terms of manufacturing and setting factories, the county governments have what's called CAIPs, County Aggregation and Industrial Parks. That is where these things should be happening, and it is important. These leaders here at the national level may not be the ones to answer that question. The person who should be answering that question is county governor, who needs to develop infrastructure, working with the national government, develop and equip the facilities for purposes of ensuring that the value chain of avocado, the value chain of bananas works end to end.
Thank you.
Number 3 is about this aspect of, let me get something here. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Clap for Prof. I'm winding up. This is our UDA office manager here, or rather the county manager here. Ningependa mmjue na msalimie. Mnapitia hapo kwa chama, mnaona tuko hapo na ofisi nzuri, si ndio? Unapita hapo unauliza chama iko aje na pia unauliza serikali iko aje.
Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades wisdom. Kwa majina naitwa Brian Onyego, mimi ndio manager wa UDA Kisii County. Juu comrades wamechoka na naona mvua inateremka. Wacha tufanye haraka haraka, nirudishe nafasi hapa. Thank you.
Bosire come. Bosire ni coordinator wa hii area yenu, asalimiane tu na aseme jina muone sura yake.
Arambe UDA Ezekia Bosire biamona abantu baminto sese ni umwanya getinge ngimamina.
Amerigi hiyo conversation. Kuna watu wa Migori hapa, there is a gentleman wale walikuwa wametumwa hapa kuja tu salimiana na ulete salamu ya Mheshimiwa Obado.
Thank you very much. By name, I'm historical jurist Pero Martin, one of the young individuals serving in the capacity of a youth representative, UDA. I'm glad as a young person that within this region I'm been given the opportunity by the party to serve as a youth representative. I'm here with the ward representatives that I've worked with from Migori County that are also part and parcel of us, just to wave wherever they are. Today is on a Saturday on 16th of November 2024 to Honorable Japheth Nyakundi, Honorable Zaire, Honorable Mtoto wa Pastor, who is also here. We have heard of affordable housing. Let 3 or 2 comrades today be of benefit, that we take them so that at least they benefit from that today, if by any case we can listen to that. Second, as a young person who has served in the party as a youth representative, it will be of importance today that if Japheth Nyakundi, Honorable, if you can take me to the headquarters, so that at least we have a lot of weight on the ground, so that the grievances of young people who are here are addressed from the above, it will be of importance. Mimi naomba mpeleke huko kwa chama, nikuwe kwa headquarters. Otherwise, thank you so that I work with this man.
Pigia makofi, pigia makofi. So kuna youth officer hapa wa Kisii County, hakukuwa around, alikuwa anaitwa Mogoi. Ni Mogoi ama Mogori? Mogoi. Simama tu, wave your side. Ofisi iko wapi tafadhali?
County Commissioner's compound, just directly the Gusi Mwalimu Sacco. That's where our office is located.
Ofisi ya Youth Fund palpenye iko. PS, ningependa kama uko na jambo kwa dakika 2, alafu tufunge. Tulieni, sikiza. Ongea.
Wanataka kwenda kula, wamechoka.
Mnataka tufunge? Comrades power. Mnataka tumalize? Haya, nyinyi simameni. Simameni, panelists nyinyi wote. Simameni nyinyi wote. Alafu PS come. Simama tu, njoo PS tafadhali. Okay. So,
lazima tuelewe, pia tuelewe. Hiyo ndio conversation. Si ndio hivyo? So because breakfast mtakunywa. Hata